morning, my friends. Good morning, good morning. Hi, everyone. Hello. Ooh, I'm a little fuzzy this morning. I don't mean, well, maybe even that way. Hang on. Yes, I'm a little fuzzy. Hold on. Bear with me. Let me just clean that off there real quick. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Hello, everyone. Okay, let me look at the chat. Good morning, good morning. Hi, Donna. Hi, Sue. Oh, your happy mail just arrived. That's exciting. Hi, Val and Shelly from, foggy Southern California. Some of the marine layers still, yeah? Hi, Angela Marie from Salem, Mass. Debbie from Houston. Beverly from Montana. Nick was just in Montana this past week for a couple days. Tabitha from cold and sunny South Carolina. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is, what did my watch say this morning? I think it's 63 degrees here in Utah. We're crooked. 63 degrees here in Utah this morning. So I think it's supposed to get up to like high 70s, low 80s, which this time of year is pretty unusual. We had snow, I don't know, maybe like 10 days ago. So spring in Utah is always really crazy. Those of you that are here from Utah, you know that. But oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. And as soon as we are done today, like literally, Nick's like, if you don't end at 1 today, Nick's my husband, if you don't know, if you don't end at 1 today, so 1 Mountain Time, noon Pacific, he's like, you need to end by 1 at the latest. We are getting in our RV you're going to be in it at 1:10. So I have all of my stuff packed. Everything I think is ready to go. But anyhow, so we're going to southern Utah for a couple days and it's supposed to be 80 something. So it's going to just be amazing. This is my time of year. Winter, not so much. Now, my time of year. Okay, so hi, Nicole. Oh, yes, my friend from South Dakota, from Rapid City. From your desk at the office, you're working. Your hubby's in Montana. Yeah, that's some Montana going on, isn't there? Oh, Diane, 95 in Arizona. Oh goodness, you guys are just, it's starting in Arizona, right? The heat wave. Kylie, big snowflakes in Michigan. That's crazy. I think, well, the West is having like this heat wave and the East is having a cold spell. Amy from North Carolina, 73 in Montana. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. 52 in Maryland. Hi, Marie. Hi, Peggy from Wisconsin. Peggy, I think you emailed me in the middle of the night or last night or this morning or something. I'll get to it. Well, you're good. Don't worry. Let's see. Okay, friends. So, good morning from Eastern Illinois. It's cold. Sorry, I'm looking off to the side that way, but that's just where I can see unless I get really close and then squint. Hi, Jessie. Jessie's with us live today. I'm trying to read now up close. 48, Central Coast in California, lovely. All right, friends, hi, Gerda. Gerda, so I just saw, and Sarah said this, Gerda said, or not Gerda said, Sarah said, Gerda, welcome to live. So Gerda, have you been, maybe you've only watched the replay. Anyhow, that's a good segue for me. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. If you are new, welcome. And if you've been joining me forever and a day, 2 years. March 21st was 2 years. We've been doing this on YouTube. And we had a super fun celebration last weekend. Oh my gosh, so fun. I'll be honest, it took me a few days to recover. That's just how that works. But anyhow, welcome. If you are new, my name is Lael Kankar, and I have a business called Lael by Mail. Pre-pandemic, I traveled and taught all over the world, scrapbooking classes, planner classes, traveler's notebook classes, mini book classes. And then with the advent of COVID in March of 2021, I'll make it a really long story short, ended up on YouTube. And so here we are 2 years later. We get together on Saturdays here on my YouTube channel, and it's welcome for all and anyone. And we do what I like to call creative listing. So usually 2 days before, I put on my blog and then send out an email. And then on social media, our list topics. So typically we do 3 different lists, and sometimes the list topics are ones that I've generated, and other times it's ones that you guys have said, either in the chat or sent me after the fact and said, hey, it'd be fun if we did this list or that list. So that's what we do, and that's what we're going to do here today. There is you've heard me, sorry, I kind of spit on myself a little bit when I was talking. I had a really good night last night, a fun night, so I'm a little fuzzy today. Oh, yes. So you'll see I'm responding to some people. I shouldn't say certain people. It's just when I happen to see the chat. If you're watching live, there's a live chat that takes place over on the right-hand side of, well, at least of my screen. Depending on how you're watching, you may see the chat somewhere. So, but if you are new, or even if you're not new and you're a lurker, you're kind of just behind the scenes and participate, but on your own, I encourage you to just hop in the chat and say hello. It's such a friendly group of people. I can't even tell you. It's just, we have the neatest little community going. So really super friendly bunch of people. Just even pop in and say, hi, newbie. Kind of always joke like the first time, long time listener, first time caller, right? When people used to call into radio shows. So kind of like that. So pop in. You'll see people are super, super, super friendly. Yes, Terry, thank you for the reminder. Thumbs up, you guys. Thumbs up for the video is always a really good way that you can help anyone on social media. A thumbs up, like their posts. That's just the way all the silly algorithms work, that the more interaction we get, and you guys doing thumbs up, the better it is for all of us. So if you give a thumbs up, I appreciate it. Yes, Mimi said, love this group. It is a fun group. Hi, Jennifer from Texas. Pam says she looks forward to this every Saturday. It's the best way to start the weekend. Pam, I think, if I remember, I think your order's shipping today. I think Nick and I did like 4 or 5 this morning because we're headed out of town. And I think I remember seeing yours in there. Anyhow, oh, Terry, thank you. Here's the deal. I really have a black t-shirt on and a black little like running skirt because we're going to get in the car and I'm going to just take this off. So, yeah, black t-shirt, but, you know me, it's hard to just wear a t-shirt here. That's just me though. Okay, you guys, so we have lots to talk about today. We have lots of things to do today. I want to really quick talk about a couple things from last weekend though before we get going. Last weekend, last Friday, I revealed for pre-order, released for pre-order, 4 new stamp sets and 6 new washi designs. Both have shipped, meaning they are on the way to me. So if you placed an order for those items in the last week, they have been on pre-order. Washi's coming from China and all of that has shipped. So the stamps are coming from the US and those have shipped as well. So I will tell you, one of the stamp sets that we are using today, I had to, you guys, before last weekend was over, I already had to reorder. So they were all really popular. You guys loved them. I love them. I'm so excited that you loved them. But the one that we'll be using today, you guys will see, that was, well, actually 2 that I already did a reorder. But we will start shipping. I'm going to think that they're probably going to come Wednesday. I didn't track either one yesterday, and the China stuff usually takes 4 or 5 days over air. So we'll probably start shipping Wednesday, Thursday. Just know that there were a lot of orders. You guys showed up and you showed up big, which thank you for that. Lots and lots of orders. So we will be filling those, picking and packing and shipping those in the order that they were received. So it will probably take us, I want to say, a good week maybe to get through all of that. So just know we haven't forgotten about you, but it'll just take us a little while to get through all those orders. Because when I say us, it's me. And then if Nick's not traveling after he gets home from work, then he'll help me at night. So it's really us. It's really me and Scatter. We'll be busy little squirrels. Okay. Oh, okay. Then the other thing, prizes from last week. We did a ton of prizes, and some I did live. And if we did them live, then we're working on those, getting those in with your orders. The ones that I did that anyone could participate, whether you watched live or not, I had you leave a comment on either of the 2 videos last week. Those, I just have not had a chance yet to go through all those and pick prizes. So I will do that this week. So we'll know next week. All right, you guys, what else? I think that's it. I think that's it for the just little housekeeping. Oh, I know. 2 more things. One, Monday night, and I will try to, it'll depend on if we have Wi-Fi in the middle of nowhere where we're going. Try to send out a reminder, but Monday night, for those of you that purchased the Spring Traveler's Notebook Kit, Monday night is the class for the April setup. So you should have an email already for that. If not, check your junk spam folder, and if not, just shoot me an email. And then I have 2 new project kits that are for pre-order right now. And this coming week, I will have more sneak peeks. So if you've been waiting to see more of those sneak peeks, then just stay tuned. All right, guys, I think we're ready to roll. So I am going to flip the camera. I have the windows open because it's so beautiful outside. It's just so beautiful. So I'm going to hope that we can do all this with natural light and not having to turn on the studio lights because then it gets too hot. So I'm going to flip the camera. Bear with me real quick while we do that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, I said I was a little fuzzy. This is why. Last night we went to dinner and a concert with our dearest friends, 2 couples that we've known since college. And, oh, thank you, Colleen. And I just ditched the sweater. No surprise. Yes, Colleen, thank you for the reminder. Phone is now plugged in. We went to the John Mayer concert. Oh, my gosh. Oh, he is so good. That man, I should call him a young man because, anyhow, he is so talented. Oh, my gosh, what a good concert. We had such a good time. So it was a late night, but we also, may have had a glass of wine or 2 between dinner and the concert. So yes, just a little fuzzy, but that's good. I'm fuzzy a lot on Saturdays, but it's usually not because I've had a late night and maybe one more glass of wine than I normally do, but it's usually because I didn't sleep well. So anyhow, hi Autumn. Oh, thank you. I posted a picture in my stories on Instagram of I did a selfie before we were getting ready to leave, and I kind of wore this really like sequin sparkly top under a jacket, and it was very I think I joked that I was taking my own disco ball. So all right, friends, let's go ahead and get started. Let's take a look at real quick what we were working on last week. Oh, I know, Amy, he does put on a great concert. That man can sing and play a guitar like no other. I've seen him 2 other times in concert. Once we figured out in 2003. We were with the same 2 couples in 2003 here in Utah at USANA Amphitheater, which is outdoor amphitheater. And then, oh my gosh, I saw him in Chicago. I was in Chicago for CHA, an industry trade show many years ago. And we saw him and Colby Calais together outdoor. Angela said new around here. Angela Marine, welcome to you. Welcome. And I am very proud of you for hopping in the chat and saying that you are new. So welcome. All right, so let's take a quick look at what we did we did a lot last weekend. If you missed it, we did 2 sessions, a morning session and a night session. Afternoon, whatever. So I have a number of lists that are halfway done. And I will be taking this with me and my pen and maybe a few stamps so I can finish my list that I didn't quite get done last weekend. So one that we did was things that we're looking forward to this spring. And here we go. I'm actually very happy to say that incorporating exercise into my health routine, I've already started that. I did 17,000 steps yesterday. Hi, Becky. Hi. And then the other one, hitting the road with Nick and Harvey. Harvey is our RV, and we're doing that later today. So I did also things in the closet. I've been on a little bit of a journey the last 6 months, and I have some sizes smaller. And so another thing, spring cleaning closet. So that's one of the lists we did last weekend. Another list that we did, this one, silver linings. And we used Kit at Heart for this. So, here we used Full Bloom. Silver linings, Kit at Heart. So we'll be using Kit at Heart a little bit again today. Nicole, okay, I just remembered. I saw something that Nicole said, because Nicole, you just said something to Vicky that reminded me. Hang on. Oh, Nicole said, sorry. Now that I'm reading this, I'm like, okay. Anyhow, she said, you looked amazing yesterday. I hope I can look half as good once you're done with your Livy loser journey. The reason I bring that up is then Nicole also just said to Vicky, hello, Vicky, you were awesome on Gina's Spill the Tea. So, the number of us here, are doing a health and wellness program with a woman called Gina Livy. And Vicky was very instrumental in my journey the last 6 months because she's the one who turned me onto it. Well, both Nick and I. Anyhow, so Vicky was amazing in the Spill the Tea. Vicky did a Zoom with Gina Livy, and it's her program, but it was amazing and so inspirational. And if you guys know Vicky, you know Vicky and how amazing she is and how she, yes, was very inspiring. So Colleen said, not sure if you saw my suggestion for another stamp for the music icons in the video comment, a center for a 45. Oh, I know what you mean by that. That's a great idea. I know exactly what you mean by that, Colleen. Yes, so we have, where did I put those? We have lots of, well, I have my stamps planned out pretty much for the rest of the year. Oh, here we go. Look at, so center for 45. And I know what you mean like that. It's kind of like this weird little thing. Yes. Yeah. Okay. All over the board. I'm like a pinball machine today. I'm like the ball in a pinball machine. I'm like, just bouncing everywhere, but that's good. Oh, Diane, I'm so glad that some of those tips are working for you. Tracy, now we're turning into a little Gina Livy chat. Starting next month. Yeah, it's amazing. It's life-changing. So, all right. So here we go. This was the second list, silver linings. And oh my gosh, I fell in love with the white. The white stickers sometimes are hard to use because a lot of times you're working on white, but they were just perfect. One thing let me rewind really quick and mention, as we are working together, as I'm working with products, I link to the majority of the products I'm using in the description box of the video down below. So if you are like, oh, she said that was Kit at Heart. What is that? Where can I get it? Well, click in the description box and you'll see Kit at Heart and click it and it'll take you to my website. All right. Oh, advice to my younger self. And you know what was so fun, you guys, about when we do these lists, as I'm listing and chatting and talking about what I'm using and the things on my list, you guys are talking about what would be on your list in the chat, which I love because this was a fun one. Advice to my younger self. Some of you were quite funny when you're talking about, if you could go back and tell your college self not to take your high school boyfriend with you or not, do a long distance relationship. And yeah, we had some good advice to younger self. As with all of the lists that we do, I shouldn't say all, but with most of the lists that we do, to me, they're like time capsules, right? We are memory keeping. My roots, I'm a scrapbooker. I've been scrapbooking for 25 years. So my roots, I'm a scrapbooker, storyteller, memory keeper. And even when we're doing our lists, this is absolutely memory keeping. When you're doing a list about advice to your younger self, well, this is memory keeping. This list doesn't have any photos on it for me, but it's still memory keeping. Especially this type of list is what I like to call a time capsule list, because if you do a list like this, advice to my younger self, I got to turn the fan on. If you do a list like that, advice to your younger self, if you did that every 5 years, I mean, advice to my younger self, this list, advice I'm giving myself when I was younger would probably be very different when I was 20. So I think it's kind of fun to do something like this every so often. Jesse, what stamp set did I use for places? That is Carrie Bradford and that is Willow. So you guys know my love for Carrie Bradford is like strong and all of her amazing stamps. And I use them throughout my traveler's notebooks. I think when I use them, I try to put a link to her website, but I think it's just kerrybradford.com, Kerri. But that one is Willow. Yeah, she does amazing stuff. All right. We did more lists than that, didn't we? Oh, maybe. No, we did more than 4, didn't we? Now I'm confused. Maybe not. Favorite 80s bands. That was another one. Oh my gosh. Favorite 80s bands. Wow. And that was the last list that we did for the day. And we had fun. Anyhow. All right. So those were our lists from last week. And once I get these finished, I'm going to try to get them finished this weekend while we're out of town. And then I'll post them to social media and my blog, because then that's a good place to see them. All right. So our first list for today is a new list that I will be starting to do on a monthly basis. So right now, I do rain or shine, one list every month, and that is always something that I call About Last Month. So same format. I did the same format for a year and a half, and then for 2022 started a new format. But we also, I know I did some demos, Pam, and then a lot of talking, lots of talking. Anyhow, so format for this year will always look like this. I'll be using my About Last Month stamp set, and that's what I used there. And then photos over here, and then I just make my list. So that's one list that we've been doing on a monthly basis. Oh my gosh, for the last almost 2 years. A brand new list that I'm going to start doing on a monthly basis. It's called In the News. Let me grab, where would that go? Well, we're just going to do it. We're going to do one. Oh, here it is. This will give you an idea, but so In the News, it's one of my brand new stamp sets. That's the one, you guys, that I had to reorder before the weekend was even over. So, and those, well, we're fine, because those will be in the next couple of days as well. But this was a sample list that I did for the packaging. But the idea behind a list like this, and this stamp set, if you want to incorporate the stamp set, is on a monthly basis, I'm going to make a list of things that were in the news. There's one thing that I want to just start right off the bat with you guys on this. And this is super important to me, and I know this is going to be super important to a lot of you. When we talk about the news, there's a lot of politics, right? There's a lot of politics involved. And it's really important for me that we don't go there, okay? Just like religion, politics, taxes, there are things that we just don't want to go there. So when I put something on my list, like gas prices, we don't need to talk about why gas prices are high, right? It's just on my list. That's in the news. So I'd appreciate it. I won't go there. I won't talk politics during the live. And I would just ask that you guys as well kind of honor that and not get into those kinds of discussion in the chat. If you want to get into those kinds of discussions, then figure out a way to connect with another person and, you know, in private or whatever. You guys can talk politics all you want, but I want to make sure that we don't kind of go there. All right. So just purely, this is what's happening in the news. This stamp set, is that the one I already started using? No. This stamp set, the way, I'm just grabbing some things here, you guys. The way that, did I put it in here yet? No. The way that it works when you do stamps, at least with the companies that I work with, when I have my stamps produced, you have to place, if you need a sample, an initial order. And that initial order is their like very basic minimum. So I think I have to order 10 of everything. And I order 10 of everything so that I can make sure that when I get them, I use them. Everything is how I want them to be. The quality is always good. But an example of this guy, this is one of my production samples. And when I started working with this set, I went, oh my gosh, there are a couple of really important words that I need on here. One was, so you have in the news, you have breaking news, and then you have this, and this can go with week, month, and year. But you know what I didn't include? Last. So the actual stamps, as they're coming in this week, have 2 more words. One is last, so if you wanted to do in the news last month, and another word is local. So if you wanted to do local news instead of, local was just another option that you had. So with that said, let's go ahead and start our listing. Oh, there it is. I think that's my sample. Yes. Well, when I say sample, I mean one that I've already used. Okay, so my Traveler's Notebook insert, if you were with us last week, I had taken it apart because I was showing you how the bookbinding tool works. So mine is apart right now, and it will stay apart until I am ready, until I'm done with it, and then I'll bind it back together. And then when I'm ready to bind it back together, I'll do a separate video of how to use that bookbinding tool, and then you'll see me do it. So that's why I'm in pieces. This is going to be a 2-page list. So what I'm going to do is take all of these things out. Basically, this is what I need. these pieces here, and then I just want to make sure when I put it all back together, I get it put back together in the right order. All right, so I have my 2-page list will be like this. So I have some things going on over here, some things going on over here. Last week, I did a kind of a little bit of a lengthier demo on the Epson PictureMate PM400 printer. And that is the printer that I have used with this photo. So this is one photo. This is a 5x7 photo. And in the news lists every week, every month, I will always want to have some photos. Now, here's the thing with photos, you guys. Clearly, none of these are mine. I guess that could have been mine, but this is a photo of refugees in the Ukraine. And I was not in the Ukraine or Poland or anywhere near there, right? And I think what's going to happen is, for the most part, for all of my in the news photos, they won't be my photos. So where I get photos like this, I just go to Google. I go to Google and I Googled COVID and then found that guy, because they're in the news this month. There was a couple of very big milestones, not good milestones, about COVID. So those are on my list. The Major League Baseball, the MLB lockout ended. So I found something that would work for that. So I have that will be on one side of my list. And then over here, on the other side of my list, I'll do my stamping over here. Angela, oh yes, I have stamps. I do. I have stamps on my website from other companies, but I also have stamps on my website that are my own. So Juris just said, this is a great question. Love that typewriter stamp set, but what else to use other than news? So with this, with that typewriter and the way that I'm going to make my list, I think you could turn this into, you could use this on a card. And whatever your card sentiment is, you'd have it right up here, like you draw. This would be kind of coming out of the typewriter, your card. If you're sending a birthday card to someone, and even if it's like one from Hallmark, you could even stamp that on the inside and then just write your little sentiment up there. You could use this for journaling on a scrapbook page, right? So you have your photo on a scrapbook page or photos, not in the news related at all. You could stamp your typewriter and then draw your list coming out, or you could even take a 3x4 card and put your 3x4 card right there above it. I think that typewriter is super, super versatile. Now you also have numbers 0 through 9. So your 0 through 9, you could use for anything. And then you have a couple of things like currently you could do other lists this month, this year, today. So it's definitely intended for in the news list, but I think it's versatile enough that you could use it for lots of other things. All right. So I'm going to do my stamping over here and my photo will be over here. Let me get some of these other little things out of the way here from my other lists. Get my stamping blocks. As I'm doing that, there's that. And then I also want to get out a couple of different pencil boards. So let's talk pencil boards for a minute and why I need a pencil board in this scenario. Oh, I like that. Someone else said you could put a poem or quotes you like. That's another great idea. I love that idea. A letter to yourself. Yes. You guys are coming up with great ideas. So I pulled out a couple of different pencil boards. A pencil board is basically, it's super simple. It's a flat surface. It's a flat surface, right? But they come into play a lot when you are working in a traveler's notebook. Normally, if my traveler's notebook is all bound together, at this point, I have lots of pages underneath, right? So right here, I have lots of pages underneath. So if I'm trying to stamp right here, there's just kind of a lot going on underneath it. And I don't want any odd impressions from the stuff that's happening underneath to affect my stamped image. That is when a pencil board comes into play. So I have a couple of different things that I use for a pencil board. This is a super thin acrylic block. Sometimes I will just pop that right under whatever I want to stamp on. Now I have my flat surface. This is one that Nancy Gullison made for me, and it's just kind of really thick chipboard, and she decorated it. That also works really well for a flat surface now I can stamp on. And then this guy, this is a Stampin' Up! Foam tool that Susie Cubido, and I love to say her name, Susie Cubido, sent to me. But this is also a great surface for using as a pencil board or for your stamping. So I want to put something here. I'm going to put my typewriter right here, but I need to put something underneath a pencil board because I have some other things that are already going on underneath here, and I don't want that to affect the impression of my stamp. So I'm going to, since the typewriter is a bigger stamp, I'm getting out my nested stamping blocks. These are linked in the description of the video. And I am going to take my typewriter. Now, I saw something, a friend of mine, Victoria Calvin. Some of you may know Victoria. She, I think on social media, goes by Victoria Marie. Super talented scrapbooker. She just, scrapbook.com just released a class series that she did for them, and you can watch them free at scrapbook.com, on stamping. And I was in the background just kind of listening to what Victoria was talking about in her online classes. And she said something that was like so, like oh my gosh, a blinding flash of the obvious. Like that's what I call a BFO, a blinding flash of the obvious. She was talking about when you have a stamp like that, and I'm going to actually show this on a different stamping block because it'll be easier to show this on a different one than this one. So if you take your stamp, if you struggle sometimes with placing a stamp and trying to get it even, she suggested, and I thought this was so smart, take your stamp, and it's now upside down, so the stamped image is actually facing my table. This is the back. Instead of trying to take your stamp and do that, take your stamping block and not adhere it, but place it on the back of the stamp. Because, and let me see if I can turn this light on. I thought this was so smart. When you do that, a lot of the stamping blocks, your clear stamping blocks, will have grids, right? So even this little guy has the grids. This will probably work. I could take this and I can line it up. Let me just get a little bit closer to me so I can see it. I can line it up with the grid and make sure it's even, okay? There we go. So that's even, as opposed to me trying to place it. Ooh, I didn't get it quite straight. Place it, I didn't get it quite straight. Yeah, I thought that was such a good tip. But that is, you know what I'll do? I will add to the description of the video when we're done a link to that class. You can find it, and it's just a free class on scrapbook.com. You can find it, but I'll link to it too. All right, so now I have, you can see I turned the lights on. I don't know, it's just brighter and cheerier with the lights on. Not as many shadows. Everyone needs a dancing avocado, right? A dancing avocado and a dancing banana. They're just so happy. They're just so happy. Oh, look it. Carolyn said you learned that and some other tips from Vicki Booten at Crop and Create in Person. Well, you know what? I think maybe that I need some stamping tips from Vicki too, right? Yeah, phrases and long stamps. I'm actually really excited about that tip because I think it's going to help a lot when I am using this stamp in my About Last Month. That one, sometimes I struggle with getting that even. But now I know if I put it down and then do what we just talked about, then that's going to be a good one. I'll talk about some other things in a sec. All right, so that is what I am I'm ready to stamp. And I think I'll just start with black. I think I'll start with black. My typewriter will be black. Now, of course, my typewriter could be whatever color I want in it, right? But I'm going to stamp with black. Another stamping tip that I talk about, and this is just personal preference. So you guys, when I'm working, I'm just telling you how I do things. Not that I'm the expert, because I'm certainly not a stamping expert by any means. But the tips that I found that help make me successful when I'm stamping, I like to share. So for me, I prefer to apply the ink to the stamp as opposed to the stamp to the ink. So when I say ink to the stamp, here's my ink. I'm applying the ink to the stamp, as opposed to the stamp to the ink, especially if you have a stamp that's a larger surface area or a stamp that has a really small surface area. If you're doing this, at least for me, I tend to get kind of some ink around my stamping block, and I don't want that. So I prefer apply my ink to the stamp. All right, get that nice and inky. Nice and inky. And I will always test stamp first, okay? Even if it's a stamp I've already used. So I've got just my little notebook here that I like to just have out. And we'll just do that over here. I like to test stamp first for a couple of reasons. Number one, especially if you're working with alphabet stamps, you want to make sure that spelled correctly, right? That's really important. And you want to make sure that all of your individual letters are lined up straight. So stamping or testing stamp obviously helps with that. If you're trying to test a color, or if you're trying to layer stamps, like here we were layering a couple stamps, it lets you kind of play around and see what look that you like. But the other reason that I always suggest that you do test stamp first is because if it's a stamp you've never used before, you need to prime the stamp. You need to prime the stamp because the stamps have a little bit of a coating on them when they first are produced. And so if you've ever had a brand new stamp and you just forget the stamping test and you go right to stamp on a project and it's kind of a little bit blotchy, it's because of that coating that's on the stamp. So there are, oh, Joe, I'll talk about that. Yes. Joe just asked a question about a new little tool that I released this week. We'll talk about that in a minute. But so you want to prime your stamp first. And there are a couple different ways to do that. Generally, the way that I prime it is I just stamp it. If I stamp it once, that gets the coating off. So I stamp it once. Now, the other thing that you can do, you can take an eraser. So if you take an eraser and you just go over the top of the stamp, that will remove that little thin coating that you can't see. It's not like the remote control on your TV. If you get a new remote control and you pull the thing off, it's not like that. You can't see it, but it's there. Another thing Victoria taught me is that you can actually either stamp it like on your jeans. Now, this is before you put any ink on it, right? So before you put any ink on it, you can erase or put it on your jeans, put it on your sleeve. You just want to do something to get that little initial coating off. All right, so we're good. I can tell there I didn't quite apply enough pressure. So I want to apply more pressure. Let's take that guy out of the way when I stamp. The bigger your stamp is, the bigger the surface area is on your stamp, the more, obviously, you want to make sure that you apply your even pressure all the way on the stamp. Sometimes the center can be a little bit of an issue. So you just want to give it nice, good, even pressure. And you want to make sure you get it all inked up again. So I think we're good there. And isn't that typewriter fun, you guys? My friend Andy, who designs all my stamps for me, she drew that. She's a very talented artist. I'm going to use this one. So I'm using this as, well, actually I need something thinner because that's a pretty wide stamp. So I had her design that specifically for us to make sure that it would fit the width of our inserts, the inserts that we use, right? Fits the width of the inserts. And I had her design it so it's pretty, it's not very tall, right? It's not very tall. The reason I didn't want it to be tall was because we need to be able to write our list out of it. All right, so we'll get that nice and firm. Make sure I get my ink everywhere I want it to be. And there we go. Now I peeled that off a little bit weird at the bottom. So it kind of got a little bit weird, but that's okay. After you stamp, you really, really, really should clean your stamps right away. That'll just help to preserve your stamps. It also will help to make sure that you don't get ink on you or on your work surface or on your projects. So I'm kind of lazy. I just grab out a wipe. There are different, you know, stamp cleaners that you can use, but I just wipe. Wipe's good. Wipe's quick and easy. And so just get that kind of a little bit clean. And there we go. Now, before you move on, is any kind of ink that you've been stamping with, I then like to make sure that my fingers don't have black or whatever color it is on them. Because if you do that, then it's going to get all over your work surface project. We don't want that, right? We don't want that. Okay, so now I am going to draw my list. And my list that I'm drawing is going to be the paper that's coming out of the typewriter, right? So I think if we come out, I mean, it's not going to be, the paper really wouldn't come out like this, right? It wouldn't come out all the way from that side, but that's okay. I want my list to be as wide as it can be. All right. And then, oh, golly, I got way off there. I got way too wide, but that's all right. If you want to use a ruler, you can use a ruler. All right, so now I'm going to put this guy away. The typewriter, Pam, let's see. Pam said, does the typewriter fit in a standard width? I think so. So what Pam's asking, there are, in this size traveler's notebook that I use, there are two different widths for the inserts. There's what's called standard, and this is standard. Standard is 8.25 by about 4.33 inches. So 8.25 by 4.33, that's standard. The inserts that you always see me use, and I carry both sizes on my website, and both sizes will fit the traveler's notebook covers, all the ones that I have except for the A6. A6 is much smaller. Standard wide is also 8.25, right? But wide, see the difference? 4.335. So you end up with about an extra 3/4 of an inch. But when you're working with a spread, you end up with an extra 1.5 inches. So what Pam was asking is, does the typewriter fit the standard width? It sure does. It sure does. Can you see that? Fits perfect. Yes. Oh, yeah, Kylie. Look at that. So this is interesting. Kylie just said, this is another thing that you could have come out of here. Kylie, I hadn't even thought about this. Let's look at this. Kylie said, look at what could also work. The library card. Whoopsie. The library card stamp. Oh, my heavens. Okay, this was not planned, friends. This was really not planned. But look at this. That could, I mean, that fits like perfect. Oh, my gosh. Actually, I shouldn't say that it's not planned. I'll say, oh, Kylie, now you can see my vision. No, not the vision, but that's awesome. It would totally fit too. So that's a library card stamp that also have, that's one of my stamps that's on my website. Okay, let's put this guy back and just get rid of that for a sec. All right, so now I am going to, I think I'll stamp in the news, but before I stamp in the news, two different sizes here that I had printed last week just to show some different examples. All right, so I want to bring in a little bit of color. So I could do a couple of different things. I think what I want to do is I'm going to bring in some color down here for the typewriter, and I think I will use kind of that blue color. And then I think I might do in the news in yellow, just so that I'll pull in a little bit of that yellow there. All right, so let's, here we go. Yes, Lael, we planned it, just didn't realize it at the moment. Yeah, well, exactly. I just didn't know I was planning that. I just didn't realize it. Yeah, Laelisms, whoopsie. Yes, I need that would be okay, actually, I'll do my list of Laelisms. You guys do your list of youism, right? Whatever your isms are. But that's a fun list topic. Laelisms. That'll be a fun one. Like things that you just say all the time. Like I say no worries a lot. It's funny, no worries. I didn't say no worries until I taught in Australia. Years ago when I worked for Scenic Route, I had the opportunity to go to Australia and teach, and that's where I picked up No Worries. All right, so we need that blue. Oh, blue for something different. We need a yellow. All right, I'm sure it's going to be the yellow I always used. Not fossilized amber, mustard seed. All right, those are my ink swatches, guys. Now, normally, I did not put all my inks away yet where they belong. I did put them in the little cupboard, but I did not put them where they belong. Normally, it's really easy for me to find the color that I need because they're all in color order. But mustard seed, there we go. Mustard seed is actually where it belonged. Okay, mustard seed. So I'm going to stamp in the news with mustard seed. Oh yes, my swatches. We did a little swatching last weekend with another new stamp set, that guy. So that one is called Swatch This Inks. And that, I've been swatching my inks now for a couple of years. That is, if you have any kind of inks, more than a handful, especially if you have more multiples of the similar color, like if you have 3 or 4 different yellows, it's a good idea to swatch your ink so that when you're looking for a yellow, then you can see which one will work best for you. But that's one of the new stamps as well. All right, in the news. So here we go. There's in the news. When you guys, and this is just kind of a general PSA, public service announcement, when you are buying stamps, make sure that you have a stamping block that fits the stamp, right? So, whoopsie, this may not. Oh, it's because I'm doing it backwards. Jeez, Lil. It's blonde. It's just blonde. Don't worry. I can't quite see that. There we go. Yeah, nice and straight. Oh, yes. Make sure that you have the appropriate size stamping block, right? So like for the typewriter, if that typewriter is about 4 inches wide, you need to make sure you have a stamping block that's wider than 4. That's why I think, well, I have tons of different types of stamping blocks that I use in my crafting, but a lot of times that's why people will have multiples, different sizes, different shapes. All right, so we're getting this guy nice and inked up. And even though I've already used this stamp before, I'm still going to come back to my handy dandy notebook and just do my test stamp to make sure that I like that it's lined up and I like the yellow and that it looks good. There we go, in the news, nice and pretty and yellow. All right, so back over here, let's bring in our pencil board again. What did I do with that? Oh, here we go. Put that under there. Again, that pencil board is just giving me a nice flat surface because I have something underneath it. Sarah said, you may want to do that on paper too, so it doesn't stick to the table. Yes. So what's interesting, the reason that it was sticking to the table was because I had it upside down. But I'll try it on paper. Next time we stamp, I'll try it on paper and we'll see what happens. All right, nice and inked up. When you're inking your stamp, try not to, and I know this sounds weird, but don't rotate because you want to just be cognizant of the edges of your ink pad. And this I saw happen more when I was doing my swatching. Like if I was doing this, trying to get nice, good coverage, I'd end up with some sharp edges in my stamped impression because I was rotating. So try to just keep it all even. Try to keep it even. I missed, what was Beach Gals? Oh, Beach Gal, that is a great idea. Okay, so what Beach Gal said is, those of you that purchased the, hang on, I gotta move this closer to me, okay? Because I need to have a, I'm back here. My table goes back a little ways, and so I can't, if I don't get it close to me, I can't see very well that it's, I wanna make sure that it's even. All right. No, so what Beach Gal was saying, some of you purchased the year in review kit, my Traveler's Notebook kit, at the beginning of the year. And that one, we basically use a Traveler's Notebook insert. Oh, so nice and crisp. A Traveler's Notebook insert to document the entire year about last month's style. There are enough pages in that insert that if you do a spread and then another blank spread, spread and blank spread. So your spread would be for like January, February, March. There's a spread, a blank spread in between each month. And so what Beach Gal said is this list would be a great list in the news to do in between those blank pages. So you've got kind of your about last month, about you, and then you have in the news about everything else. All right, so let's get this back going here so we can kind of see what they're going to look like together. And I need to pull in some more color. So I was thinking kind of that blue color down here. Or I could pull in some green because I have green in a few. There's actually quite a bit of red in here. I mean, there's a lot of red, but I don't want to use red. So if I want to color now my typewriter, I can't really color that now, right? Because my stamp, oh, I just had a fun idea. I had a fun idea for an add-on stamp. You know what that is? I have to write this down. The idea for the add-on stamp is now just like the background. The background. So it'd be just like one solid that shape, but that you could then stamp on top of that for the colored typewriter. So I'm gonna just write that down. K. If I don't write it down now, I will not remember. We go, oh, I probably need to move that. That's got all kinds of ideas on it. There's some new stamps there that are coming out very well in the next like 6 weeks, 2 months. Background typewriter. All right, so in the meantime, since I don't have that stamp, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out colored pencil and I will color in that typewriter. And that is basically what I did. Here. So that is just colored pencil. That way I can make my typewriter whatever color I want. I could even do the keys different if I wanted. So let's look. Colored pencils. No judging here, friends. Okay, no judging. We're in a judgment-free zone, right? We are in a judgment. Oh, yes. So, right. Solid. Oh, solid typewriter minus the keys. Hey. Okay. Hang on, guys. We got to do a little bit of work while we're playing. I have to write that down too. So background, but then we go solid without the keys. That could be another option, maybe. So keys are white. Okay. All right. Oh yes, colored pencils. I still have yet to swatch my colored pencils, but I just might have a stamp set coming out later this year that might help to swatch colored pencils or pens, colored pens or whatever. It'll be fun. It will be fun. All right, so I want a kind of blue here. So let's just look at what might be kind of close, or maybe a green. Hi, Mom. Okay, guess what? I didn't see that you were here until I saw Mimi say, hi, Lael's mom. Yep, Mom's in the house. Mom is in the house. All right. Thanks, Mom. Oh, that's pretty good. That actually looks pretty close to that, doesn't it? I think that's it. Yes, so just like you would swatch your stamps, your inks, because you have different colors of blue. Here, I'd want to swatch my pencils too, because many different colors of blue. This pencil case, Amazon, linked in the description of the video. It holds a lot. All right, so what I want to do here, I'm just going to lightly come in and color my typewriter. So here's the thing, you guys, depending on what kind of stamps that you are buying or investing in, the first color, I think, is you need a black. You can do a lot with black. You can pretty much only use black, but then if you wanted to get some colored pencils, then you can really kind of play with some color. If you, you know, don't want to quite start investing in inks yet. It's funny. I have quite a few of the distress inks. When I started buying them, well, yeah, I bought a lot on my own. And then, oh my gosh, last year, I want to say last year, I think, Tim Holtz reached out and said, I didn't know that you liked my ink so much. What can I send you? And I'm like, oh. So then it was fun because I didn't have any purples. There were a lot of colors I didn't have. And so you know what I want? I want this in here because I'm noticing that I'm picking up some of the border on the paper below, just a little bit of a impression. So anyhow, my ink collection is almost complete. But I find, you know, like anything, we all, you know, have our favorites, and I tend to stick with the blues, the kind of the primary colors. Blues and greens and yellows and pinks. Well, those aren't primary, but you know what I mean. Bright colors. But then, okay, purple. I've been using purple the last couple weeks, which is kind of a shocker for me. I'm not a purple gal, but I've been working purple into my lists, which has been kind of fun. So now if I wanted, I could have a really fun typewriter. I could have different colored keys if I wanted, but I think I will just kind of stop about there. I could finish coloring in later if I wanted, like the background of the keys, but that'd take a little bit longer. That's the kind of thing that's good if you're binge watching, you know, a show on Netflix or something like that. Oh my gosh. We just watched one called Bad Vegan. Have you guys seen Bad Vegan? Oh, that interesting documentary. Very interesting. Okay. So there we go. That's a good start. But look it. So now, even just by adding a little bit of color, it just kind of really brightens things up, right? Okay, this I need to trim just a tad because it is 5. And I lose a little tiny bit unless I get that like moved all the way over. So I'm just going to trim this down a little bit. Last weekend, when I was doing the demo on the Epson Creative Print, the app that I use to print the photos, someone had mentioned that you can play with the border distance, and I played with that this week. Oh my gosh, like, guys, I had no idea. You can make the white border much larger or smaller, or when I do the video for that, for the app, the printer and the app, I will go all through that. Oopsie, oh goodness. That is water. That, okay, my Dina Livy friends, you know, my water is sitting right here next to me, and I just spilled it a little bit. Better move the coffee. Well, I'll have a sip. Coffee's there too, so let's do that. Okay, look what Bridget said. I like that. So here's the other thing, you guys. I, right now, have just stamped this on my white paper. But you could totally stamp that typewriter on pattern paper. Sometimes like we do with the library card stamp, and then it would give it a totally different look. Then you wouldn't even have to color it because you'd be picking up the color and the pattern from the pattern paper underneath it. So I think that's really fun too. All right. So I know this will kind of be basic. I may come back and add, I don't know. I may come back and add something to this side. We'll have to see. But this can be a basic list. We can have the typewriter carry a lot of the weight, right, of the design, and then getting a little bit of color in there too. But we'll see. I may add something along the bottom here or something later. All right. So things that are on my list for in the news. And here's a little tip. If you're doing this list on a monthly basis, I just have a little note open on my phone. And actually the note's called About Last Month. And in there, that is where I just throughout the month write down things that have happened, because then I know at the end of the month or start of a new month when I'm ready to do my About Last Month list, then I know I'm not like racking my brain, because all throughout the month I've been just making notes of the things that happen. So the bottom of that list, this is also now where I put the in the news stuff. So if I'm watching the Today Show, because that's part of my morning routine, I like to watch the Today Show, and I'm doing whatever, and they're talking about certain things in the news. Well, pretty much they're always talking about things in the news. There are things like, oh, that would be a good one to put on my list. That would be a good one to put on my list. So I just kind of have that running list on my phone. You could do it on your computer, or you could do it even if you're taking notes in your traveler's notebook or something like that. So that today it was really easy for me when I'm like, oh yes, this is the list that we're doing. I just went to that note on my phone and then wrote it all down here on my little workbook so that it's easy for us to do. And this is just a whole, it's just going to be a big kind of run on of things that are happening in the news. But I think what I might do, I'm just pencil, ooh, okay. I have an idea that might be kind of fun. I want to get a little bit more color in here. So if I come back to my little sample here, this is another reason why it's good to do a test stamp and then even kind of keep them in some kind of spiral notebook or something. Doesn't have to be fancy, but if I have this idea and I'm like, ooh, I want to use the pencil and I want to add some more color. Well, never mind. What I was trying to see, oh, here we go. This is kind of another one. But what I was trying to see is, what if I did, hold on, let's just pretend. This is the top of my list. And this, oh, here. Duh, there we go. Because I want to see what it will look like with that. If I then stamp my pencil right there in yellow. Let's see if we like that. Oop, turn it over. Yeah, that's a little harder to do just because it's smaller. So we'll just make them kiss. They're going to kiss. Nicole spilled her water on her desk. Nicole, put a lid on it. I know. But even mine had a lid on it. But eventually, if it totally spills over, some liquid's going to come out. Dandy. So this is funny. So you guys look at this. This is actually what my water is sitting in. And it clips on to the side of my table and then it holds my water. So it's really awesome. That's the way that I found if it's off to the side, then I won't drink water while we're doing this, which is bad. But if it's right there, it's handy. I just, I don't know, I didn't put it in right or something and that's why it fell over. Okay. So now that I see that, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like that. I don't like how the black line goes through it. So I'm glad I tested that. Put the water back. I'm glad I tested that first because I can tell I'm not going to like how that looks right there. So if I want to do a pencil, I could do a pencil maybe just right below it. We'll just do a pencil right below it. Good morning, Tammy Lee. Sarah, yes, Amazon. I'll add it to the description box in the video. I looked for a while and here's the, there's all kinds of things out there that will work that can clip on to your table or whatever. But that for me, it's off to the side. Well, anyhow, that's after I looked for a while. That's the one I like. That's what works for me. And then I can take it off easily. All right. So here we're going to bring this back in or out. You add a small handled bag on it before clipping it on for small scrap garbage bag. That's smart. That is a really good idea. All right, here's my little pencil. And your little pencil, your little pencil. So let's say that you're scrapbooking and you are going to add a little bit of journaling on your scrapbook layout. Well, that'd be kind of fun that if I had, so let's just pretend with our little pencil. Here's my nice little layout. And if I do that with my pencil, I didn't just re-ink it, right? And then I could say, we had so much fun, right? So I could do my journaling that way. Or even in a card, I could do the same thing with that little pencil or whatever I need to write on. Or even like if you're doing pocket page scrapping in like a 3x4 card or something would be really fun. All right, in the news. So now I am ready for the in the news things. there's a couple of different ways that I can use the stamp set to do this. When I did this guy for the packaging, I kept it really simple because, well, I kept it simple. And I used the typewriter key stamps that are part of that stamp set. But I think I have a lot of things on my list this time. So I think what I'm going to do, instead of using the numbers, I am going to do one of my run-ons, okay? And when I say a run-on list, I mean like this, where I am just writing list, and then I'll use a stamp to separate each of those things on my list. Now, this is the fun part. Hi, Jennifer. Nice to see you. Every time I play Wordle, I think of you, Jennifer. Okay, so over the last couple weeks, I need to back up and give some history here. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I showed one of the brand new stamp sets, which is Bullets and More. So Bullets and More. Hang on, let me find that here. Guys, I have so many now that are all mine that I had to finally put them in their own separate thing because they. Did I put it in here? Oh yeah, there we go. Bullets and More. So this came up a couple weeks ago when I first showed these stamps, and I was, let's clean this up and put it away. I was each time taking one of those little tiny stamps and trying to put it on this block, and then it's just kind of cumbersome, just because the stamp's so teeny, block much bigger. And I was doing that, and then someone in the chat, Lavon Wood, said, hey, do you know what works really well for that? Take a pen and put the stamp on the end of the pen. And I'm like, oh my gosh, let's try it. And we did, and it worked so well. So I used, obviously, the end of your pen needs to be flat if you're doing it with a pen, and it needs to be big enough for the stamp. So last weekend, and I just kept saying, Lavon is such a genius. Oh my gosh, Lavon is such a genius. And every time I would do it, people were like, what is that? What are you using? Last weekend, using it again, and Sarah said, you know what? You need your own tool, and you could call it a stamping stylus. And so we started talking about that. Well, guess what, friends? Guess what came to my website, I think on Wednesday night? Look at the new stamping stylus. Okay, clear, acrylic, very easy to hold on to. It is 6 inches long, so a little tiny bit longer than a pen. The nice thing about that is that you can hold it easily in your little hands. And it's even a left-handed tool. It's an ambidextrous tool. That's funny. But it is clear acrylic, and then look at the end. Okay, the end is flat, and it's acrylic, so your stamp will stick very easily to it. 3/8 of an inch. Starting with this width. Okay, starting with 3/8. Yes. So Sarah, yes, scatters on it too. And Sarah, I sent this week. Well, I added one to Sarah's order as a happy mail, and then I sent one to Lavon this week because it was totally their idea. It was like joint effort idea. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use one of these little stamps, one of my little bullet stamps, and I think I will use. Maybe I'll keep it pretty simple. I am going to go with the circle. I'm going to go with the completely filled in circle. All right. Another thing that you guys shared last week, at some point, especially with the little ones, I find your little ones, the back of them will start to lose a little bit. They're not sticky. It's not like a sticker, but they'll lose a little bit of your stick. The reason that happens on any stamp is because dust, lint, things like that will just get on the back of the stamp. So it's kind of preventing it from sticking. So a trick for that, you could either use a little bit of water. What I started using, I did, where is it? In a baggie, I put rubbing alcohol in this bottle. That's just a glass bottle I had. And then a kind of a little bit of like a lint-free cloth. So whenever that happens, I have this in my craft room with all of my stamping things that I need. So if the backside, if it's not sticking as well, any of my stamps to any of the stamping blocks, then I just put a little bit of rubbing alcohol on there, on the back of it, and then it's good as new again. All right, so let's put this on this end and get that nice and stuck. So now, well, I could do, no, I won't do a different color. I think I will go with, let's see if we can find a blue that's similar to that. And if not, then I'll just go with the yellow. Back to our swatch book. Oh, there's so many blues. Love it, love it. Okay, speckled egg. I don't know, maybe. Salvage patina, that's always a favorite. Peacock feathers, too dark. Tumbled glass. Now, if I wanted it to really match, it'd be tumbled glass. But if I wanted it to coordinate, I could go a little bit darker or lighter. So maybe broken china. Let's pull out tumbled glass and broken china. Okay, none of the ones that I have used before. So here we are. Here's a little tip if you're organizing. If you have lots of different ink colors, a way to easily find is put your inks in the same order that your swatches are, okay? So then it's easy to find them. Broken china, tumbled glass. There we go. This is part of an Ikea shelf thing that fits in the Kallyx or the Expedit. That was the genius idea of my friend Vicky. So I think I have a blog post about that and how I store my inks and organize them and all that. Okay, so where'd the stylus go? It's clear. Oh, there it is. Dirt. All right. So now again, we go to our little book, our little tester book, and see, that's the color that we just used for colored pencil. So let's see what we get. Now look on my stylus. Look how easy. Look how easy this is going to be when I just need to go, I write, I pick it up, I'll redo my bullet, write, pick it up, redo my bullet. But look how easy that is, right? Oh, it's just, that was genius. Not genius on my part. Genius on Lavon's part and then Sarah's part. I just executed. I'm a good executor. All right, that sounds wrong. I'm a good executor. That does not sound right. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm going to like tumbled glass better. I think broken china was just a little bit too dark. Yep, that's what it is. It is tumbled glass. Alrighty, so now as I'm writing, what I want to do, I'm going to come in again and put in my pencil board. We've used a pencil board up until this point for stamping because we didn't want our stamped impression to get messed up. But now when I start writing, look at right here. Look what's right there. As I start writing and if I try to stamp my bullets underneath, that is going to wreak havoc because it has some dimension. Pencil board to the rescue again. So I am not a clean crafter. I've never claimed to be that. So just so you know, it's going to be a mess. All right. So as I start writing, well, I first want to add my little bullet. So we'll skip a line. And that little bullet will separate each of my, the things that are on my list. So, starting with gas. Oh boy. Okay, remember, no politics. All right, friends, no politics. These are strictly new things in the news. So we're going to refrain from talking about the whys. Why is gas high? Why did Russia invade the Ukraine? We're not going to talk about the whys. These are things that I have on my list. So please, in the chat, respect that. Thank you. Gas, average, $4.33 a gallon. That is craziness. It's high. All right, another one. US, and I'm not adding another bullet there because I already have one above it, so it's kind of already separated. US inflation, 40-year high. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I need some more bullets. Maybe I better do this. Maybe I better add a bullet over here just so it's... Oh, yes. This is interesting, you guys. So when I first started making my list earlier this month, on my list, I had 3 million Ukrainian refugees. I looked this morning, 10 million. 10 million Ukrainian refugees. Refugees. 2 E's, right? 2 E's. Yes. All right, we'll do another bullet here. So they're not really separating them because, interesting, most of my things are much longer than 2-year COVID mark, right? March was the 2-year anniversary from when the WHO, the World Health Organization, declared the pandemic. 2-year COVID mark. COVID death toll greater than 6 million worldwide, and 1 million. We just passed the 1 million mark in the US. 1 million US. Oh my goodness, Mimi, gas is $6.40 where you live. Holy moly. Oh yes, Karen, the Denver Broncos Stadium. I saw that, but see exactly. So Karen lives in Colorado. Denver Broncos, NFL football team. And that would be something that would probably be on Karen's list or someone else from Colorado, but it won't make my list. This month it didn't make my list, but in another month it might have. It's just, I have a lot on my list this month. So, Linda May's here. I love Linda May's name. I told Linda May her name is Linda May. Well, her name really is Linda May. It's her first and last name. But I said, if Linda May was my friend, well, she is my friend. I just don't know her. If Linda May was my friend, every time I'd call her, I'd say, hi, Linda May. I just love how it goes together. All right. Okay, here's another politics. No politics. Florida Senate. Florida Senate introduces a don't say gay bill. Moving on to the next one. This is a cool one. Well, okay, this is even politics, so I shouldn't even say that, but because some people may not agree with it. New Mexico signed into law that New Mexico, so state college tuition is free. I have to refrain from commenting on that. Here's another one. MLB lockout was over. MLB, Major League Baseball. MLB lockout ends. Now, I'm not necessarily a baseball fan, but I'm sure that could be political. I'm sure everything could be political, right? I'm sure someone would figure out how Scatter is our mascot and he's political, right? All right, MLB lockout ends. Here's another one that I need to refrain because never mind. Senate votes. Daylight savings. What did I write? Pen. I don't know what that says. Senate votes to end daylight savings. Now, don't get too excited either way. Daylight savings, because it still has to pass the House. That's okay. Oh gosh, you guys, I still have so many more things on my list. I'm running out of room. This could certainly end up being like a 2-page list. I mean, I don't have room for it, but it could be a 2-page list. Let's see. Feds hike interest rates, first time in 3 years. Let's see what else I have. I still have lots more things. I'm going to skip that. I also had on my list the stealth Omicron variant, the BA.2. I'll skip that one. This one, COVID surge in China. That's kind of a China COVID surge. And that's 37 million people. I think the lockdown's over. There's some people on lockdown. That was kind of a big a big thing. All right, we're nearing the end of our list. Let's see. Oh yes. Okay, this is a big newsworthy item. No politics, but it's a big newsworthy item here in the U.S. Supreme Court confirmation hearings. For Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. I'm going to run out of room. Ketanji Brown Jackson. All right, so I had a few more things to add, but I ran out of room. So there we go. There is our in the news. Now, what I need to do is I need to date this, right? So this is for the month of March. Oh my gosh, it's warm in here. Hang on. Yes, Mimi, this is the one that we didn't get to last week. Face fan. Okay, let me take a quick break. Face fan. Ooh. Oh, look at Dandy. I love it. Dandy said, in my news, my son made the high school soccer team as first goalie. That is exciting. Congratulations. Dandy, I have a very soft spot in my heart for high school soccer players because I, in high school, was on the varsity soccer team, the only girl on the boys team, varsity, because we did not have a girls team. My high school was too small. So I have a very soft spot in my heart for high school soccer. All right, date. I need date. Oh, I know what I want to use. So let's see if this will work. I have, you guys, I have a couple new, not new companies, but new to me, new to my website, couple new companies that I have brought in or bring. Ellie Studio. Vicki, do you know if you're still on? I think I've heard Meg say Ellie. So I'm going to say Ellie Studio. What could totally work? So you'll see me, new stamps. I'll use some of these in another list. But alpha stamps, number stamps. But this is what I was thinking. Look, there are date stickers. So let's see. And the reason I thought they would work, they're all different colors. So let me just pull these out and see if that will fit right down there. If that will fit. And these are, all the Ellie. Thank you, Vicki. Yeah, I thought it was Ellie. Ellie. So, let's see what we want to use. Well, before we see what we want to use, let's make sure something fits. I don't know. The red kind of is begging to be used, but let's see. There we go. Oh yes, let's do the red because then that just brings in a little bit more something. Okay, date. Now I think what I will do, put these back. I am going to use a roller date stamp. I try to be in the habit. Try, right? Don't use try. Do or do not. Don't say try. That's a Yoda. That's a Yoda-ism. I know, Tracy, I'm going to need to rent a storage facility. And actually, that's going to probably need to happen sooner than later because I'm sourcing a product right now with a couple of factories in China that will definitely make it so that I have to have a storage unit because they're larger. They're larger. That's a little hint. All right, roller date stamp. This one I have on my website. It's a nice little wooden one. It's got a little wooden handle and a little holder for it, but a little bit smaller. So I have two main roller date stamps that I use and that I have on my website. One is this one, the Project Life one. That's fun, but it's a little bit wider because it has little characters that you can put in, like hearts and stars and things in between the month, date, year. This guy is European format. I don't know if it's European format. It's a different format than we do here in the States. So it has date and then month and then year. So, Nick, hope you guys didn't hear that. Well, it's just the toilet. He flushed the toilet, but we have 3 toilets in our house and he decides to use the one right next to this room. Ladies. That's Nikki. Nick said hello. Today is the 26th. Okay, here we go. 26 March 2022. Now, even with this, I test stamp everything. It's just a good habit to get into. Like anything, you have to... Oopsie. There went the stylus. Okay, and when it hit the floor, my stamp bounced off too. I'm going to need to remember to find that because I will forget. All right, color-wise, I think we'll probably just do a black. Make it easy. Anyhow, always, even this. I mean, this you're like, well, how can I mess up a date stamp? It's kind of easy, isn't it? Well, yes and no. Sometimes you might put the wrong date on. And it's not a huge deal if you put the wrong date on, but if you put the wrong year on, then you're going to be scrambling to put another sticker over that. And then I wanted to move the 2 and the 6 closer together. So there we go. Now here's a little tip. Normally what I would do, and I didn't think about it till after I'd already done it, if I am going to stamp on a sticker like that, sometimes it's easier to stamp while the sticker's still on the sticker sheet as opposed to here. It's just, I don't know, sometimes a little bit easier for me. Hi, Ariana. Did you get your order, sweetie? All right, here we go. If you don't know Ariana, we're like, everyone on here is like the mom to Ariana. She's our little 14-year-old lister that she lists with us. So we always enjoy having her here. There we go, 26 March 2022. And I mean, I think it's pretty much done. I think it's pretty much done. So we're gonna clean this off and then we'll be ready to move on to our next list. Is the little stamp on the back of your handy dandy notebook? Oh, I love that. Is it on the back of your handy dandy notebook? This guy? Oh, no. But it's probably on one of these handy dandy notebooks, right? Oh, goodness. It's on the floor somewhere. Now I probably stepped on it. It's probably on my shoe or something. All right. You know what? Let's do this. Let's get some of these things off to the side because that's part of our problem. Too many things. Too many things. So let me clean up real quick, friends, and then we'll move on to our next list. So curious, were you guys listing with me? Are you doing it in the news? Even, well, obviously you don't have the stamp set yet, so you wouldn't be doing it with the stamp set, but are you doing it in the news list? And if so, do we have some of the same things on the list? Did you have different things on your list? All right, let's put this guy back. I just got to find my little circle somewhere. And this guy will go back. We got everything, okay. All righty. So, giveaway for this week. I'm going to do those 2 stamp sets that I just used. So we'll do 2 giveaways. One is for In the News, and one is for Bullets and More. So, the way that you participate in the giveaways, I ask you to, when the video's over, come back and leave a comment on the video. So not in the chat, leave a comment on the video itself, and I'll have you tell me something from our next list. Ijeoma, oh my gosh, it's been forever. I think of you almost every day. You know why? Not funny. Because your orders are in the closet that has all of the packing material in it, all of the boxes and everything. So every time I go in that closet, I see your big giant order. And I'm like, Ijeoma, I hope you're okay. I hope things are good. Now that you've kind of, Ijeoma lost her mom. So just had a pretty rough go of it, I think. Gerda said she wrote down her list, what she's going to write when she gets the stamp. Pam, my type paper and die cuts from Fancy Pants. That's a great idea. Yes, where are those? You know what? I had them out because I was going to use them last week, but I didn't. That's a great idea. Let's see. Tracy's Treasures. I made an acrylic frame to stick my mini stamps on when I'm done with them, but not ready to put away. I will post it in the Facebook group when Lael is done listing. Yes, would love to see. Oh, Ijeoma. Oh, goodness. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So sorry for your loss. Okay, list number 2. This one is Life Turning Points. And I think someone had suggested this. Usually what I do is, I'll just show you how I keep track of things. In my workbook, I have list ideas. And so anytime I see a list idea or come up with a list idea, I add it here. I try to mark them off when we're done with them. But when you guys give list ideas, give list ideas, so let's see, like this, Beach Gal had given a list idea, trends I never jumped on. So I'm pretty sure that someone gave advice, that someone suggested that we do a list. Now, what is it? I forget. Life turning points. Yes. So if you suggested life turning points and I forgot it was you and didn't write it down, then just say, because I like to give credit. I like to give credit. Alrighty. So here we are again. Now, bear with me. I have to put this back together so I make sure that I know. See, I know some people will start out using their traveler's notebook this way. They'll take everything out of the insert and then work on their list, but it's too hard for my brain because now I've got to figure out where these pages go, right? Okay, so this goes here, right? And then that goes there. Oh, that goes there because I haven't done anything there. There. Okay, here we go. Next list, life turning points. So I'm just looking to see if anyone had said, oh yeah, that was my list. Okay, life turning points. So this is kind of a little bit more of a timeline for me. The way I'm going to approach this list, I sat down and just thought about my life and some big turning points in my life. So I need let's see what we want to do. I might want to, what did I do with it? Bad Lail. I cleaned everything up after last week, clearly. Oh, look it. I'm so good. I put it away and put it where it belongs. So last week, I started using one of the new 49 and Market collections called Curator's Botanical. I really liked it. You guys really liked it too because it sold out, more came in, it sold out again, more is coming in, but that is what I used on this list. Really, really pretty. Actually, I think these are still, well, you'll have to look. Curator's Botanical on my website. You'll be able to see what's there and what's not there. If there's something that you see that is sold out, just put your email in the little box. It'll tell you to click the box that says email me when available. And when it comes back in, then you'll be notified. But we had this postage stamp washi. So that is, now what did I do with it? Why wouldn't I put it back where it belongs, friends? Anyhow, oh, here it is. It's in a little box. But that is postage stamp washi. So I just did a full strip like that and then used that as kind of an accent to build my list. But you could even use just one of those. So that one of those looks like that. And they're perforated. So really looks like a stamp, a postage stamp, but it's washi if you separate them. So what I thought I'd do, I think I'm going to use this collection again. This will be it'll be a 2-page list, but, hang on, what just happened? What just happened to the list that we just did? Oh, friends. Okay, look what I did. Did I get that out of order? I totally got it out of order. That doesn't belong there. Oh, heavens. Did I mess that up? No. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I just gotta... Do you guys see why I have to fix this? I have to figure it out, because if I don't figure it out, then it's all messed up. Oh, golly. Hang on. Golly jeepers. That would probably be another thing that I say. Golly jeepers. Oh, there we go. Yes. Okay, there we go. Wow. Sorry, blonde. Don't worry. Okay, here we go. This is where our list is going to be. I won't take that apart again. So what I thought I'd do, one of the things that 49 and Market does that I love, their packaging. Okay, this is the packaging to the die cuts. So look at the backer. This goes in the package. So this, I'll show you. This is the Avesta one. So this is, it sits in the package like that. All the little die cuts sit like that. But when you pull it out, look at that artwork. I mean, that is gorgeous. Why wouldn't we use that? So I think what I'm going to do, this will be a 2-page list, but it's really only going to be a 1-page list. I am going to cut this backer and just have this be a really pretty accent over on this side of the page. And then I may add a little, I don't know, die cut or journaling spot or something there. But that's my plan. So I know I want this to be 4 3/4 inches wide. The reason I want that to be 4 3/4 inches wide, almost all of my lists, I like to have a little white border all the way around the edge. So if my inserts are 5 inches wide, then a little white border, whoopsie, would make it 4 3/4. So let's get our trimmer out again. Art on backers. Yes, you know what, Vicky, your backers have art on them too, don't they? I think I've used, I think Color Study. I pulled off and used one of the backers on one of the products in there. I also want to make this 7 3/4 because my inserts are 8 inches tall. So let's see where I cut this though. Let's do our width first. I want it to be 4 3/4, and I turned that upside down. I want to preserve all of that beautiful art. So that's why I'm cutting from the other side. So 4 3/4. Now I need this to be 7 3/4 tall. But if I cut right here, I lose some of that kind of bluish color, and I want that. So let's see what happens if I, okay. I need to cut it right here no matter what, because that's where the score is. So let's go ahead and just cut right below that. Now, if I cut from the bottom, I'll still preserve that. So let's do that. I will cut just a little bit through the butterfly or the moth. All right, there we go. Now look at that. It's like a beautiful piece of pattern paper, and it was free. Well, free, it was just part of the packaging. I use packaging a lot in my projects. There is the packaging on the Maggie Holmes Market Square collection is really cute. I'm just going to just show you this as just an idea. So it'll kind of help you to look at your packaging twice. If I haven't thrown the packaging away. Let me see. Yep. Okay, look. So on Maggie's packaging, look at this at the bottom. These are the puppy stickers, but look at that. So nothing here exciting, but take advantage of that, right? So I could cut this off. I could use it. I could put a photo on it. I could journal on it or make a list on it. But just that little cute at the bottom, that little cute scalloped pink at the bottom is fun. So look at your packaging before you throw it away. Alrighty. Now I know I want to round the corners because I'm putting this on the left side. Or excuse me, right side. So I'll round the top and bottom right corners. That will go right here. Let's go ahead and, golly, this thing being apart is driving me nuts. Driving me nuts, but I really need to wait to bind it until it's done, until it's full. Okay, there we go. And then over here, I need a title. Life, what do we call this? Life Turning Points. So, I think what I want to do, may use these guys. So these are brand new to my website. This is from Ellie's Studio. This is Heart Jane alphabet stamp, okay? Heart Jane. If you can see on these alpha letters, then they're good size, right? They're nice and tall, great for titles of your lists or journaling or scrapbooking, whatever you're doing. But look at those letters, have those cute little hearts. Isn't that just like the cutest thing? So I think I will use the word life as my main title, and then I'll do turning points below it and something different. So let's take this back out again. We could probably use that block. And let's see what happens if we do. I am not going to line up my letters this way. I am going to go ahead like I did before. I won't do that. I am going, well, no, I won't. I need to use the line on my block to help make sure that it's straight. And sometimes there's just a little bit of back and forth, but I prefer, if I'm trying to line up multiple stamps, I think it's easier to do it on the block. You guys hear my fan? My little face fan. It's making all the difference in the world. Okay, L-I. Oh, look at that. Dandy, that's a great idea. Dandy, that's a dandy idea. Dandy, Civiter, okay, I can't even pronounce. I won't, I'll just butcher it. Said, love it when I use the backers. I typically laminate them and use them for stamp and die storage. That's a great idea. That's a really good idea. Okay, life. Oh, look at that. Tracy's Treasure said she just made her daughter a birthday card with the paper pad cover. Love it. Yeah, you know what? We should use all the things if we can, right? There's no sense. We don't need to throw it all away. This is something that if you guys, some of you that have ordered from me, you know, fairly frequently, you may have realized this, but I actually recycle packaging. So when I pack your orders, sometimes like American Crafts, they, you know, when you buy from a manufacturer, they don't sell you one, they sell you units. And those units, let's say 6 stickers, come in a bag, a large bag. And so then I recycle those and I pack your orders in those, but then I have to add a little washi to it just to kind of make it cute. If you've ever wondered why sometimes your orders come in things like that, because I figure, well, why not? We might as well recycle it. Either I'm going to go throw it all away. I might as well send it to you, package your orders with it, and then I'm not using another bag. All right, you know what I think? Maybe blue. What do you think? Should we do a blue? Blue would be pretty. Or no, maybe green. Ooh, okay. I'm thinking of a green. Lots of good greens too. Where are the greens? Oh yes, the greens would come before the blue in the Roy G. Biv. Okay, bundled sage, no. Ooh, no. Lucky clover, beautiful green, but not the right one, right? Pine needles, no. I need more of like an olivey, I think. Ooh, peeled paint. Okay, here's the deal. It's pretty. I like peeled paint because it goes well, but that's not, it's going to kind of be not very fun over here. So I think we're going to need to go back to our blue. Back to our blues. Oh, after the greens. Broken china. Mermaid. Ooh, Mermaid Lagoon could be pretty, right? It's kind of that color. Mermaid Lagoon. Salty Ocean. No, Blueprint Sketch is a little bit too purpley. Prize Ribbon. No, I think it might be. Faded Jeans is pretty, but it's a little bit more subtle. Mermaid Lagoon. Salty Ocean. Salty Ocean. Mermaid Lagoon. I think Mermaid Lagoon. I think it's going to be Mermaid Lagoon. Mermaid Lagoon it is. All right. So let me just, I had to come over here and grab the blue tray again. Let's see. Look it. There we go. The two are together. Salty Ocean, Mermaid Lagoon. It pays. I mean, it takes time to organize your things, but the time that you spend organizing your things, oh my gosh, will save you so much time in the long run. Could you imagine if these weren't organized and I'm trying to find colors? I'd go crazy. You guys would go crazy. Okay, now I'm just trying to get the tray back in. Hang on. Okay, there we go. All right, Mermaid Lagoon it is. So I haven't used these stamps yet, you guys. These are brand new. They just came in this week. I'm super excited. Oh yeah, we need this. All right, let's see what we're going to get. Let's see. Mimi, I love organizing things too. I really do, right? Okay, remember before when I said don't do that? That's what I had just started doing. I don't know why. So I'm priming the stamp, and you know what I can see already with this? I can see, watch what happens when I first stamp this. Because it's brand new, it hasn't been primed before, I'm going to get some really blotchy, I'm going to get a really blotchy stamped image. Because it has that thin layer of whatever is on photopolymer stamps. Oh, yeah, a little bit. See how it's a little bit blotchy? All right, so this is going to go over here. Oh, that's going to be lovely. All right. Get it nice and inky again. So if you missed it before, we were talking about priming stamps. You can just prime it by doing a test stamp and inking with it first, and then testing and then re-inking, and you're good to go. You can like rub it on your jeans. You can rub it on your shirt. You can rub it on something, obviously, before. If you had like a lint-free cloth or something like that, you could rub it on that. But you want to do that before you ink, obviously. You don't want to do that after you ink. Okay. Make sure my fingers don't have any ink. No ink, okay. I need my pencil board again. And where did I get on there? Let's see here. Okay, I had to look for something first, so I'll explain what I did in just a sec. Okay, I don't know if you could see that, but I looked, you can use your finger. Perfect. Releasing agent. There we go. Vicki said you can use your finger. Oh, guess what? Now I know. A while ago, that reminds me, I kept seeing people in the chat say finger, and I didn't know what you guys were talking about, but now I understand. Finger. You can use your finger to also get just rub the releasing agent or whatever it is off. All right. There we go. Cute, cute. All right. What was I was just going to say something. I don't remember what I was going to say, though. I don't know. Let me clean this off. Shoot, I wish I could remember what I was going to say. All right. I'll put that away later. Now, I need to do my outlining. Let's do some outlining. Oh, I know. I have a bunch of old letter stamps that are on wood. I can never get them lined up very good. Any ideas? I love what Melissa said. Melissa said, Linda, I use mine and don't line them up. They look artsy and old-fashioned in a way. That's a great. Embrace it, right? Embrace the chaos. Embrace the unevenness. Yeah, that's wood, different stamps, different properties, especially, wood mounted stamps were super popular way back in the day. Not even way back in the day. You can still find them, and they're still great stamps. I think one of the reasons that photopolymer stamps, the clear stamps, have kind of moved ahead of the wood stamps. Well, I think a couple reasons. Number one, storage. Wood stamps take a lot of space, right? They take a lot of space. But the other thing is what Linda May said, that they're not see-through. They're not clear. So it's kind of hard to see what you're stamping. This guy needs to come out. This whole thing just needs to, no, that won't work. I need to line it up. Just know if you're new, normally this is not out like this. It's just something that we did last week now that's causing me all kinds of heartache while it's not together. While it's not together. All right, almost done with my outlining. Got to get that done. All right, life, turning points. Life turning points. Okay, so turning points. I need to do turning points. Let's do, how about some alpha stickers. And I'm thinking that I probably want to do my type. So my type, not this color, but that font. because it's just a nice, clean, not super whimsical, not whimsical at all. But color-wise, yeah, okay. So those are Doodlebug. Here, so you can see what I'm doing. Those are Doodlebug stamps. And Doodlebug colors are beautiful, super bright. So they probably are not going to go with what I have going there. So I think we'll go with the black. And I probably need more than one sheet. Again, this goes back to organization, you guys, right? Except those are not, those at the beginning are not organized by color. So that if I'm looking for black or pink or whatever, then it's really easy. I just go to that little section and then they're there. So life turning points. All right, so to build the rest of my title, turning points, I know I have enough room on my list to do a 2 stacked title. So I'm not worried. Well, I don't know. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to start spelling. Okay. Hang on guys, I need another sheet of that. I'll be right back. Take a potty break or hydration break or whatever it is. Hey honey? Yeah? Yeah? Hang on guys. Okay, I'm back. Oh, normally I can hightail it up and down the stairs pretty quick, but I've started doing lots of walking in hills and things like that. And on Thursday, I went on a walk with a friend, like 3 miles, but it was lots of hills. And so my shins are kind of sore. That's how you know you haven't been exercising, when a walk like that does make your shins sore. And then yesterday, 17,000 steps. So part of that was Nick and I walked, and then we went to the concert. We ate dinner downtown and then walked probably a mile, I want to say, both ways. And Tracy, that was outside, a neighbor's dogs, not ours. We don't have dogs or cats. We have no pets now, except for things like this. Dancing bananas and avocados and alligators. Yes, but I also wore some wedges. So clearly my shoes were not practical. And then danced the whole time, 2 hours standing for the concert. So my feet and my shins are a little sore. So yes, going up and down the stairs, not as fast as normal. Okay, turning points. So I'm using my ruler. And as I do this, I'll kind of talk through what I'm doing. If you haven't seen me do this before, this is a little 6-inch metal ruler that I have on my website. I use this probably every time I'm doing any kind of crafting, whether it's for a ruler or what I'm doing. So when I am working on a title, I will put my stickers on the top part of the ruler. And there's a line up at the top part of the ruler, and that helps me to line up all the letters, okay? So that's the first thing. That's the first reason I do that. And then I'll show you the other reason in a minute. Oopsie. I'm also using reverse grip tweezers, because when you're working with little teeny tiny thin letters like that, so much easier to use tweezers than to try to fat finger, right? Okay, turning point. Now I won't try to do my eye yet. I mean the dot of my eye, because there's nowhere for it to go. Turning point. So last Sunday, I'm toast. Like after doing either teaching for a full weekend when I'm traveling teaching, or like we did the all day on Saturday. The next day or two, I am good for nothing. I'm like a puddle. So it was rainy last weekend, so it's a good day for kind of, you know, hunkering in. And so I don't know. We watched a couple different things, but one of the things that we watched a movie called Deep Waters on Netflix. I don't even know what to say. Wow. Ben Affleck, such a weird movie, very disturbing, very disturbing. So yeah, just if you're thinking about watching it, you know, you do you, but different. Whoa. Oh, do you see what just happened, friends? So somehow my eraser, my retractable eraser, got teaching hangover. That's exactly what it was. Got, I don't even know. It must have been black ink on it. So I went to erase something on there, and look at what we have. So that, usually I'd say, well, just find something to cover it up. That's going to be a little bit harder to cover up based on what I'm going to do on my list. So this is what we're going to do. When things happen like that, I welcome them because I think it's a good opportunity for us to talk about, like, if you do something like that, like something's, yeah, don't panic. Nobody panic. My friend Karen always says, nobody panic. You liked it. Whoa, Vicky. Okay. Anyhow, a very odd movie. Just, it's very, there's some serious, all kinds of issues. Yeah. Okay. Don't use that. Put that way over there. When this all, right? We do things like that. We mess up, we misstamp something, and then we have to figure out how we're going to fix it. So this is how I'm going to fix it. I am going to start my list over, and I will have white cardstock here, and then I'll restamp, and then that is going to be my list, okay? So that I could put a sticker or something over, which generally I would say just put a sticker over it. But the way I'm going to do this list, it's really going to be in the way if I put a sticker there. So let me cut this really quick. That's why I never really get afraid when I stamp, because you can always cover it. If something happens, you can always, always, always cover it, right? And start over if you need. So 4 3/4 by 7 3/4. Oh, that's what I did. Duh, by 8. It's 8.25, ding-a-ling. That's why I was short on the other side. Okay, talk nice to yourself. Don't be mean to yourself like me. Oh, now I'm gonna have to make that shorter a little bit because I already did my outline. Okay, gotta look at the time. All right, Nick is gonna be in here probably at 1:45 saying, okay. All right, we need to make it shorter because I already did my outlining around the edge, and then it was just gonna be weird. Alrighty, so now we need our corner rounder. We'll round these opposite corners. If you are kind of nervous to stamp, this is another good way to start. Just don't even do stamping in the insert itself. Do your stamping on something else, and then if you kind of mess up, then you can just turn it over and start again, or get a new piece of cardstock out, or whatever it is. All right, so now, good thing we didn't take all that off, huh? Add a stencil. Oh, Vicky, yes. If I was Vicky Booten, I would add a stencil, because that's another great way to fix it. That would be awesome, Vicky. I have some stencils. But then I'd have to add it in black. All right. That's interesting. So when I'm stamping like that, I think I need to, well, I'm just going to do this. But I think what I need to do on this, I think that I still am seeing a little bit of the whatever that little layer is on photopolymer stamps when you first get them. Because my ink is doing something odd. Okay. Life happens. Life happens and you get black on your list. Life. Oh, there we go. Okay. Here's something else, you guys. This came up last week when we were talking about stamping. The paper that you stamp on has a lot to do with your stamped impression. So if you have really thin paper, if you have paper that has texture to it, like if you have basil cardstock or something like that, like the orange peel, or the linen that has texture to it, that is totally going to affect your stamped image. So I always use a smooth. The white that I use is a smooth white. It's a Nina. I think it's Nina Bright White. And I buy it. Well, actually, I buy it by like 6 or 8 reams at a time, just because I do lots of different things with it. But Amazon, and I have it linked in the description of the video. Okay, so there we go. We're back to where we started, where we were. So 2 reasons I use the ruler. 1, to line up my title and to make sure everything's straight. But number 2 is now I can decide. I have not committed. I can decide where I want my title to go, right? So I'm trying to decide, do I want it to be here? And it would go turning points, right? That would work. Or would I rather have it be here, turning and then points below that? Which I might want to do it that way, you guys. I might want to do it that way just because that's not something that I would normally do. So let's try it. I can move it around while it's still on the ruler, decide where I want it. And this is, I think, where I want it to be. Turning points. So now all I do is, it's a lot easier than saying, let's see, turning is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 3 that way, 3 that way. So N would be in the center. If I start my N in the center and then I move left and right, sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't because your I is a little bit thinner than the other letters. So doing this, you'll always be centered. All right, then what I do is I will just push those little stickers down, and then I will kind of hold them and gently lift up. Now with these stickers, sometimes they'll pop a little bit just because they're thin. Nope, there we go. And now this little guy was just a little bit off. Replace him. He went rogue. Okay, turning. I need to dot my I. Life turning points. Okay, you guys. So we'll definitely get our 3rd list started, but I've got a hard stop at noon Pacific. So this list, life turning points. Our next list is things to do when you can't sleep. I think someone suggested that one too, but I didn't write it down. So for the prizes today, I'm going to do the same thing with points, and I'll keep talking. For the prizes today, 2 prizes. One, in the news stamp set. The other one is, another P. The other one is, the Bulletin More stamp set. So the 2 new stamp sets that I used on my last list. The way that you participate in the giveaways is once the video is over, once we're done today, come back, go to the comments, leave a comment on the video, and I'll have you just tell me either one of your life turning points or what you do when you can't go to sleep. And then next Saturday, we'll have lots of giveaways next Saturday because that's when I'll also announce the giveaways from last weekend too. Next Saturday, I will draw 2 random lucky winners, and they'll each win a stamp set. Points, turning points, life turning points. So, but even though I want you to do that in the comment, I still want you guys to tell me, where are you going? We are going in Harvey, in our RV. We're going down to southern Utah for a couple days. We've done one outing before when we went to the Rose Bowl, but this is like our first real kind of outing. So we're excited. And we're leaving as soon as I'm done today. We're leaving at 10 after 1. That's what Nick says. 10 after 1 Mountain Time. So now tell me in the chat, guys. Tell me in the chat. Tell me what's one of your life turning points. What's one of your life turning points? Yeah, Betty, Betty and Miss L, yes. Aren't they fun? Those alphabet stamps, those are new, they're not, actually they're newer. Ellie's Studio, the Heart Jane alphabet. Yeah, they're fun. I love the little hearts on them. And you know what else is fun? Look at this. Now, I wouldn't do this today because I don't have time today. It would have taken much longer. But look at this. Also have these Jane alphabet stamps. So look at, same font, but these are small, they're solid, and they don't have the hearts. So, sometimes when you want things to kind of match, kind of coordinate, you could then, and this is good because it's upper and lower and numbers and punctuation. So those go really well together. So if I had more time today, I could have done turning points in that. Okay, turning points. So now we'll do the same thing here. Life turning points. Now I have an idea. Have a little idea here. I might have this be right justified because I have, you guys know me and my love affair with hearts, all things hearts. Look at these, also new to my website from Ellie's Studio. Tiny Shapes and Dots Puffy Stickers. Neutrals. This one is called Christmas, but it doesn't have to be Christmas, they're just colors. Gold, cool tones, and warm tones. But look at all those. All the stars, hearts, and dots in all those colors. So what I think I might do, oh, look at this. I think I might take one of these little hearts, and this is from the Cool Tones. Watch this. Now, a little bit of a different color, so, but that's okay. Let's see, maybe this guy. And what if this goes right there? Life turning points. Let's just see. That goes there. Yes, I like it. All right, so I need to move this because now it's in my way of getting these guys to stick down. And I don't want too much white space. I don't like a lot of white space in between things like that. So I've overlapped a couple of those letters. And now we hold on again and gently just peel. There we go. Oh, my P went a little bit rogue. Ooh, that sounds bad. My letter P went a little bit rogue. The fan is blowing hair in my face and making my nose itch. Life turning points. So then I'm kind of a little bit emulating the hearts in the stamps. All right, now one more thing, and then we'll be ready to start on our list. I just need to dot that I. Actually, I need two more things here. I'm going to dot the I right there. And then I'm going to move this one closer. And then sometimes I like to put a little dot or period at the end of my sentence. Well, it's not really a sentence, it's the end of my title. Peggy became a jazzercise instructor and performed in New York for the Statue of Liberty celebration in 1986. Oh my gosh, Peggy. That's awesome. Jazzercise. Do you still jazzercise? Jazzercise instructor, you are talented. I'd step on all of my feet and fall over. Remember when we do like aerobics on the, you do aerobics on the box things? Oh, I'd always be stumbling. Okay. Wait, oh, I missed what Tracy said. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. I've missed all kinds of things. So just a second, you guys. Let me just back up for a second. Oh, Vicky. Yeah, Vicky. When we met way back when at CHA in Chicago. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes, that truly is. You are right. Absolutely. Sarah taking a job at UCLA while she figured out what to do post-grad. You're still happily there 25 years later. Oh my gosh, Sarah. Okay, Sarah, I know UCLA, big place. Do you know Haley Mullen by any chance? Haley Mullen. If you know Haley Mullen, that's going to be amazing. Terry, brain tumor. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. Dandy, life turning, Gina Livy method. That's the last thing on my list, last thing on this list. Oldest daughter graduated high school, definitely a big turning point. You guys look at having children, starting a cleaning business, becoming a grandmother. Divorced first husband at age of 27 after 1.5 years of marriage. Best decision of my life. Adopting my son in 97. Dawn, when my husband passed away, moved my kids across the country and started over. So glad I moved them to a new place. You guys, look at all these. Baby number 4 coming into the world a month ago. Chaos is my plan. Congratulations. Oh my gosh. Tracy, when your youngest son became a Marine. Oh, you guys, goodness, look at all of this. I love it. Love it. Okay, on the health side. All right. Losing 30 pounds. Amy, yes, that is absolutely life turning point. So Karen, what I mean by turning points, the way I'm defining, I'll tell you what's on my list. I'm defining turning points when we moved to Park City in 1978. That's kind of, and that's in Utah. That's really where, if we had not have been moved to Utah, then my life would be entirely different. I would not have met my husband. I would not have had kids. Well, I would have had kids probably, but different kids than the ones I have. I'm certain my career, my business that I have now would not, so that was a big turning point. When I graduated from college, when Nick and I got married, having our kids, leaving different jobs, moving, so different things like that. That's what I mean for me. That's how I'm defining my turning points in my life. So, but really, this is one, if you're listing this, whatever a turning point means to you, whatever a turning point means to you, right? Because we all would have different turning points. All right. So let me just put these things off to the side. And now let's grab our list. Okay, hang on. Here it is, on the ground. So this will go here, live turning points. Now I know I'm going to need a lot more color in here somehow, right? A lot more color. So before I start making my list, let me just grab, back to here. Let me grab the die cut. So everything is just in here. In a big mess. Let's take that out. That's the pattern paper. That could work, right? We could work that in somewhere. We could work in a little green maybe, because we have the green. That might be fun to work in a little bit of green over here. If we just do maybe a little bit of layering. All right, so that could work. And then I just need maybe one more thing there. And you know what that one more thing was going to be? Of course you do. It's going to be a butterfly. So I'm kind of matchy-matchy there. So I'm not sure if that will work, but let's just keep looking and seeing what we have. But it just may work because some days you just have to go on. Just move on. We could bring in a little yellow. Yellow would be pretty. Oh, right, there we go. What about that? Bring in a little bit of yellow maybe? And then, well, I have to be careful because I will not have enough room for a list soon, right? I will not have enough room for a list soon if I keep up with this, if I keep at this. I kind of like that. I kind of like that, but I have to be, like I said, I have to be careful because I need to go back and refer to my list and make sure I'll have enough room to write my list. Because really, the list is what's important. Well, no, it's all important because this is therapeutic to me. This is therapy. This is therapy, right? It's therapy. So if I want to spend all my time just sticking butterflies and tags and tickets down and then my stamping and stickers and then I work on my list later, that's okay. Because for me, this part is just as important for my mental health as writing the list. Yes, so washi, that's washi. There is with this collection, Vicky, the postage stamps. But I'm not going to use the postage stamp washi because I just used it on the list a little bit, on the last list that I just used with this. But what I could use, we looked at this last week. This is the assorted stitched washi tape, right? Look at all that yumminess, all of that yumminess. And this is also from 49 and Market. And hang on, hold on. I want to get this thing out because this is cool. Let me get all these guys back in. This is like the saran wrap box, or when you go to Costco and you get the big giant box, and then it has a little thing that you can put on it. So that will cut your washi. So what might be fun, what if, we could use this green. Okay, hang on. We could use this, let me just pull this out. We could use this green maybe along the bottom. That would be a good one. Let me, you get that unfurled. Okay, let's put that back in there like that and just go. Let me see how long I might need it to be because I think I want it to be on both pages. So unwrap, and then So let's look at here. If this guy, oh, no, I made him too small. Okay. When that happens, this is what I do. I grab my, I think I'm up to about 80 rolls of washi in here. Okay, 80 rolls of washi. Do you believe that? 80 rolls of washi. Yes, Melissa, it's back in stock. It came, came in this week. So 80 rolls of washi because they're all on playing cards. So when I have extra, or in that case where I didn't make it long enough because I wasn't paying enough attention, I just put it on a wax coated playing card. Okay, wax coated playing card so it will stick. But then when I go to use it, it will come off easily and still be sticky. And this goes, anytime I'm crafting, that goes with me because then I always have washi with me, but it's also always right down here. All right, so let's try that again. Didn't get it long enough. Wait till you guys see. I talked about it last week. They have a new collection coming out called Sherbet? Something like that. Oh my gosh, it is the most stunning thing you've ever seen. And so much good washi coming. So I placed a big order for that right when it released. And I think that ships next month sometime. So, oh, it's good. It is good. Lots of really bright colors. All right. So we need to kind of try to line this up. Move those guys for a bit. But I think we'll be able to cover some of that up. If we go like this along the bottom. And then this guy will go about right here. And then you want to separate. Somebody asked that I think last week. I always will separate those because you don't want that in the way. You don't want that to be in the way, especially when you are, you get towards the end. Having them connected, it just causes some issues. So you don't want them to be connected. Especially also when you're binding. You don't want them to be connected when you're binding. All right, so there we go. Just make that, hang on. Okay, so there's the first one. And these are back over here still. These, all the die cuts from 49 and Market are awesome because they're just so layerable. They're just so good and layerable. How did I have this? I don't know, we'll figure that out somehow. I just need to figure out, I think I want another washi here. So maybe we need the black one. No, not the black one. I want to do black stitching. So let's now go to this guy. Look how fun. It's like, it really is like stitching. But because the cream part of that will be transparent, oh, it'll look like I had mad sewing skills when I can't even really look at a sewing machine without the bobbin. Like seriously look at it and the whole bobbin just like, ooh, immediately just gets all tangled. I haven't even sewed anything when that happens. Okay. Now, this little thing, I can just as easily just rip it. So I'll just rip it because that'll go faster if I rip it. Alrighty, so then this guy is now just kind of a messy stitch, right? A messy stitch. But when I put it down, because that background is transparent, I mean, you'll see it a little bit, but it's going to look like I sewed. I sewed without I didn't even have to get the sewing machine out. Okay, then let me cut this one off right here too. There. And there. Because there are so many orders right now that haven't shipped because they were all pre-orders. And this is always the case, you guys. Sorry, I had to go throw that away. This is always the case. I need to put this down. If you have an order, a pending order that hasn't shipped yet, you haven't received your shipping confirmation and you want to add to that order, I can always add to the order. Just shoot me an email and say I need to add to the order. Lots of you did that with that new stamping stylus. Then that way you only pay for shipping one time. Oopsie. Hang on. I've missed a whole bunch of stuff, guys. Sorry. Hi, Kelly. I think one of the things I missed, I think Colleen, our resident mom and technical advisor, she's always so good about reminding me to make sure I plug in and things. Yes, turning point. I think, Colleen, you probably said your turning point was your husband passing away recently, which, so sorry. So sorry. All right. So this guy, I think we'll have to just go ahead and get these guys just stuck. Let's just do it, right? Let's just get them stuck on there. Let's get them on our little layers. We'll have to figure out where they go. Boy, now I have really no room for a list, when really that's what it's all about. Oh yeah, no, it has to go like that. Okay, let's just do it. Get them on. Get them on and move on. Get them on and move on to our list. Oh yeah, 1221. So we may make it to start our last list. We may not, guys. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Okay. This guy next. Yeah, that works. I like it. That works. All right, there we go. Now it's time to write. Now it is time to write. Hold on. What did you, oh, Kelly, your newest grandchild, 12 hours old. Oh, that is so exciting. Congratulations, that is so exciting. Oh my goodness, yes. Bus leaves in 49 minutes. Dandy, yes, I'm packed. I am packed, yes. And we just had a little, not wrench thrown in things, but because last night we went to the concert, I'm like, Nick, I can be all packed, but like packing all the food and all of that stuff, going to the grocery store and all of that. He's like, I'm on it, I'll do it. And I'm like, okay, great. So literally we'll be done and then I'll like walk in the car. Okay, life turning points. So what I thought I would do when I was making my list, I thought I would associate dates with them. So, because then it would kind of show the progression, and they're not like month, date, year, they're just month and year. So that is my plan. I think what I'm going to do though, all right, I don't want to do more hearts because the hearts thing is going to be too much. But I think I'm going to use maybe the bullet stamp again. But guess which one I want to use? The one that is on the floor somewhere. So that's when we come to the samples and we just get another one. Our little stylus, and I don't know. Maybe I'll use this one instead. I'll use the little asterisks. So where? So I think it needs to just kind of be small and unobtrusive. And the dot's going to be a little bit bigger than I want it to be, I think. Oh my heavens, where? There we go. Okay, little asterisks. It's a cute little asterisk. I drew that asterisk. That's my writing. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, and I think I'll do black again just because then it'll kind of draw it all together. But as always test, always test, always test. Yeah. One thing I want to show you guys, especially when it comes to a stamp like that, that's pretty fine. I know, Vicki, your stylus is getting added to the box too. The stamps should be here this week. So as soon as they're here, you've got a big box coming with your tea and a special sweater that you don't know about. Wait till you see what it is. You're going to die. All kinds of things. But what I wanted to show you, a stamp like this, that's pretty fine, right? And when you are applying pressure, when you're stamping, I think it's important that you test, because this will show this, but different pressure. So when I barely stamp, I get that nice, really thin, that's how I want it to look. But if I apply a lot of pressure, look what happens. I mean, that's just a blob. I mean, it's not a bad blob if you wanted to do that, but if I press a little bit harder, so depending on how I'm applying my pressure, I think especially it makes it easy with a little stylus on something that small, you just barely kiss it. Like Vicky says, I love this saying. This is a Vickyism. Kiss it like it's your grandma, not like it's the rock. Ha, Vicky. Kiss it like it's your grandma, not like it's the rock. Or, I don't know, whoever your guy is that you'd want to totally maul and kiss, not like your grandma. Okay. I know. The stylus. Yeah, I wish I could take credit for that. Well, I can take credit, but not the whole idea. All right, so now what I need to do, I need to decide if I want to start over here. I don't know if I want to start over here. I might want to start here. Let's just start here. Now, I don't know. I'm thinking, just bear with me. I'm thinking, is it going to bug me if I start right here? I better start over here. Okay, there's my first one. Moving to Parks, so April 1978. Moving to Park City. So you're going to see my writing be a little bit different here because I have to write smaller. It has to, when I write smaller, it tends to get a little bit neater. Okay, moving to Park City in 1978. Then a big span. January 1991. Graduating. And then I don't have a ton of room, so we'll just say the U. That's what we call the University of Utah. That's its little shortened name, the U. See you, Jody. Okay, be gentle. Be gentle. Yes, be gentle. Okay. Then we have May of 1995. Best day of Nick's life. I don't know. Marrying Nick. Marrying Nick. That's when we got married. May 20th, 1995. We're coming on our 27th wedding anniversary this year. Okay, next up is January 1998. That's when Jack was born. That's when Jack was born. 9 pound, 12 ounce Jack. That I was in labor for like 38 hours with and pushed for 2. He was a big baby. January 1998. So turning point, January 99. Another big turning point. That was when I, so I'm just going to, so it's left AT&T. So I've been working for AT&T for 8 years, left AT&T and started a software company with 2 other guys. That was a big turning point. Big, big, big. So then December of 2020. Oh, 2020. Oh yeah, 2020. Now I've just got to write Sam because I ran out of room. Sam. Sam was born December of 2020. Oh, okay, hang on. I don't want that dash there. That doesn't belong there. There. We just cover that right up with a little white gel pen. You never know it's there. Now, so what's going to be interesting is, now I haven't really thought this out. However, I'm not going to have a lot of room to write here now, am I? I'm not going to have a lot of room to write. Yes, I love that. Smash the like button. Oh, crap, not 2020. Didn't, you know what's funny? Thank you, Dawn. But remember how I stopped? Like I stopped, you know why? It's because it's 2000. Wow. All right, so look at, yeah, that's Sam 2020. Nope. So I'm just covering that with my white pen. And then I will come back once that's dry and I'll write a 0 over that. That will be fine. Yeah, whoops, not 2020. Yeah, he wasn't born in 2020. But I hesitated. I'm like, no, that's something's not right there. All right, next one. All right, now here's a big, oh yeah, March 2006. Big jump. That was, I left Agency Works. So that is the software company that I had started when I left AT&T. Left Agency Works. That's when I went to work for Scenic Route, March 2006. And then another big jump, December 2012 is when I started CrossFit. That was a huge turning point in my life for 3 years. Oh my gosh, huh, Vicki? You guys, I was very cut. My upper body was very cut. I had some very nice, very toned arm muscles. I weighed about 30 pounds less than I do right now. I was a lean, mean fighting machine. I was very strong. And then I got injured, and then got injured, and then got injured, and then it was all done. In the height of that, I had 11% body fat, which is insane. That's insane. Okay, but anyway, that was a big turning point in my life. All right, April 2013. That is when I left another startup company that with the other two guys here, but anyhow, long story. That was called Amplify. That's when I left Amplify. And that is when I went to work for Simple Stories. Was in April of 2013. Oh my gosh, 9 years ago. Isn't that crazy? 9 years ago. That's insane. All right. Then we have another big jump, June 2018. That's when we, let's see, moved to, that's our neighborhood. We moved after being 18 years in one neighborhood. We moved. That was a big turning point because that was just a big turning point. Then I've got 3 more. In April of 2019, April 2019, 3 years ago on April 1st, that is when I left Simple Stories. That is when I officially laid by mail. And that was one of the things we celebrated last weekend, you guys. 3-year anniversary. Which is crazy. I know. And you know what Vicki just wrote? Vicki just put in the chat. She said, and think I've been here for half of this. You have, Vicki. I know. Vicki and I have been friends since, oh my gosh, Vicki, when? Like 2006? 2006. 2006. Yes, 2006. That's insane. I love that. I love that. I told her the other day I was proud to call her my friend. March 2020. This one is, I don't even, this is going to sound weird. It's just going to say YouTube because I don't have a lot of room, but that is 2 years ago when we started doing these. That has been a huge turning point for me. Huge turning point in everything that I do, my business, everything. The very last one that's on my turning point list is September of 2021. And I have to write this down here. This is the Gina Livy program. And I saw someone had written that in the chat, and that was a big one for me. That is another big, that is, and I'm still working through it, but that is like a turning point similar to CrossFit for me. Not just focusing on me and health and wellness, and it won't be a CrossFit. I will not be cut. I promise you, you will not see me cut. But that's what that is. All right, so now I need a date, and I need a date here. So I think what I want to do for a date, I'm going to pull out some label stickers. These are, well, all of these are Pretty Little Studio. You can tell I like my label stickers. That's all that is in there. Those are all just label stickers, or labels. So 2 different options here. Let's see what we have. These are die cuts. They're pop-outs, punch-outs. And so I could use a little bit of one there, but I think that might be a little bit too big. These are stickers, Pretty Little Studio, both on my website. So what if, let me just see what this might look like if this went right here. Maybe if I do just a little bit like that. I don't want it to fill up the whole space, and I want to, it's too much. I need to just make it a little bit smaller. But, ugh. I'm struggling with the width of it. Yeah, it needs to be a little bit less. Oh, or, okay, hang tight. Plan B for maybe, plan B. Because when, there's 2 things that I default to. Label sticker or the word strip stickers. So hang on, let me move this out of the way. I think that's a perfect spot for a word strip. And we'll go to these guys. I know we don't want a snarky. Maybe small talk. Chit chat's too small. Ooh, clippings, maybe. Clippings is one of my favorites, and clippings is really fun to use with, I think it works really well with the Simple Stories, Simple Vintage collections, and then also works really well with 49 and Market. So clippings are word strip stickers or phrase stickers, but they look like they've been clipped out of a page of a book, right? Look at, I know, dear, I know. So the door just opened, and Nick did this. So he doesn't say a word, but he does this, 2, and then he does 0. Like he's giving me a, hey, you've got 20 minutes left. You've got 20 minutes left. So something she'd wanted. He could make it on his looks alone. No. One must have patience, my dear. That's actually, it was an artist's life I wanted. Let's see. Mementos of lives lived. She stood her ground. Thoughts that whispered in my heart. Familiar fork in the trail. So that is kind of, that's kind of an interesting one. Familiar fork in the tail. Actually, I'm going to put this right here, because that just kind of ties in with, maybe I'll go right here. It just ties in a little bit with the whole theme of the list, right? Familiar fork in the trail. And then maybe we'll find another one to go there. Ooh, and then I could put another one over here. All right, let's see. One must have patience, my dear. That's kind of another good one, right? Turning points in life. You have to have patience. So this could go here maybe. Let's look. And then we can put one over here. So much for my date, right? So much for my date. Mementos of, there seemed no more to say. Mementos of lives lived. This one here. A little bit on the, you kind of lose it a little bit. All right, so now my date. I still need a date, and I can't put a date over here directly on that piece because that is the backer. That's part of the packaging, so it has a coating on it. And if I don't have the right type of ink, like a Stays-On ink would work really well, but I hate Stays-On ink, can't stand it. Stays-On ink, the property in a Stays-On ink would make it so it wouldn't smear. I think pigment ink would for sure smear, so I don't want to do that. But maybe if I did that right there, and on this I just type, right? March 26, 2022. All right, there. And then I think I need, maybe we might pull in one more heart and then it would kind of all bring it together. So let's go back to our little hearts over here. And then I could put another one of those hearts here. Let's look at this, you guys, we talk about visual triangles. So, there we go. And that'll help us to see kind of that mementos of lives lived. Oh, although, let's see. This is what I need instead. I don't need a blue. Guess what I need? I need yellow. I need to pull some yellow over onto this page. So blue will go away and we'll get the yellow. So we talk about a visual triangle. We have a visual triangle going here. If we start here, down here to here, see how that makes a triangle point? So it helps our eye to just kind of, it just visually pleasing. Yellow, perfect. Perfect, perfect. I know, yellow, shocker, right? I know, yellow, shocker. But it needs it. It needs some yellow on this side. You guys, I know you tease me about my yellow, but look at it. It needed the yellow there, didn't it? It's all kind of pulled it together. All right, there's something I want to try. Clearly we're not going to get, well, we'll see. We might be able to get to a little bit of our third list. But since we have a hard stop, I'm gonna try something. Terry, I know you're not going to be surprised because you know what is coming with the colored pencils. I want to try something. And what I'm going to try is, I love yellow. I love yellow. I want to try and see what it looks like if I color in those letters, okay? I want to see what happens if I color in the life. And because I've done a test stamp already, I can just come over here, right? And test it on there to see if I like it. Is that a good yellow? Sure, looks great. All right, so let's see what this looks like if I color it in. All right, now I can see that's not the right yellow. You see how that's like two? I don't know. Let me try to find a darker yellow and see if I like it. If not, then I'll just leave them that way. It just feels like it needs something. Just feels like it needs something. I know, it helps to break up the white space, doesn't it? Well, if I am just colored more heavier, that's a different yellow. I think I like that yellow better. So what I've done, fade and only color the tops, right? Is that what you mean? But I'm not coloring on top of, I don't want to color on top of the hearts, right? See, if I color on top of the hearts, it kind of changes the color of the heart. I don't want to color on top of the heart, but I'm just going to color in the white spaces and color around the hearts. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, I think it matches more when it's darker. So part of it is that I just was pressing harder. Oh yeah, no, that's like a peachy color. We don't want that. This is why soon I will be swatching. I want more of like a, I don't know. Yeah, no, I need more of like a, I don't know, something that's not so bright. Oh yeah, that's that one. And then we get into the oranges. All right, I'm gonna just try one more thing, okay? One more thing. Oh yeah. Okay, remember, no judging, because look at, also more pencils. These are swatched already though, so I can see. Flesh, that's a horrible description. Cadmium orange light. Yeah, cadmium orange middle. Marigold. Okay, let's look at marigold. Is that marigold? Oh, yes, maybe it's marigold. Okay, let's look. Yep, marigold. Okay, I'm glad I kept looking. Marigold. Yeah, colored pencils are a pretty inexpensive way to get color into things. Layer, what? Layer what? I don't know, what's TO? Layer 2. Oh yeah, no. That's like too, Vicki, you give me too much credit. Layer, no layering. That's way more than I bargained for. You know that about me. That's way more than I bargained for. Too many steps. Although this is already some steps, right? Okay. Because I'm doing a couple things here. Yeah, it just needed that yellow. It's a little bit more golden than it is like lemony. Yeah, we just needed more yellow. See, when in doubt, yellow. When in doubt, word strip sticker. When in doubt, label sticker. When in doubt, yellow. Those are the Lael principles. Yeah, whatever. All right. I'm just going to finish this up. You guys, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish this up, and then I think we'll call it a day. And then we will start next week with the last list. The things that we do when we can't sleep. Okay, one more letter. One more letter. Oh yeah, it needed to break up the white space, didn't it? There was just a lot of white. That was a lot of white there, and we just needed that to break up the white. Okie dokies. There we go. Oh yeah, much better, much better. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the lights. Yellow for the win. 3 shades, light, medium, dark. Oh my gosh, we could totally do like an ombre. Yeah. No, that would take way more time. I get too impatient. That's why, like Vicki and her mixed media, it's amazing, like works of art, right? If you guys haven't caught Vicki on her Friday Night Lives on YouTube or Facebook, you really should, and Facebook, I should say. Hold on, I'm flipping. But the layering and all the mixed media she does, it's amazing, fascinating. Okay. Pamela. Okay, I saw Pamela just asked a question, and then I'm going to talk about giveaways, and then we're going to call it a day. Pamela said, "Hi, Lael, small question. What do you do with the books you create first, and the second one you recreate for class? Do you ever sell them?" I have a lady who always purchases my sample. But then I also make a second one for class. And I am totally willing to sell those. So if that's something that you are interested in, Pamela, shoot me an email because the two, well, I probably have samples. The class ones, so partially made with all the products still though, to finish it for most of my projects. So reach out. We can go from there. Gerda said, "Have a great time on your mini vacation." Thank you very much. You finger painted last night. Is that the other reason? That's probably the other, maybe that's why people were saying finger. I kept wondering what that was, but I need to, Vicki, because I wanted to watch last night, but then we were at John Mayer, and I'm sorry, but John Mayer won out over you. This coming Friday, I will for sure, because I haven't been to one in a long time. Ariana, new glasses. I have 2 glasses now. Both are prescription, but I started getting worried because I can't do anything without my glasses now. So I started getting worried that if if something happened to the one pair, then I would be dead in the water until I could get my new prescription. So there's a very tattooed Amazon guy walking up to the door. Very full sleeves, both arms. Just got distracted, sorry, squirrel. Okay, yes, so new glasses. When I was small, you finger painted the carpet. Oh my gosh, Linda May, that's hilarious. I can just hear it. Linda May, stop it right now. Stop finger painting the carpet. Rub your finger on the stamp. Yes, I knew that. Yes, rub your finger on the stamp to rub off the releasing agent. That finger. But then, were you also talking about finger painting, and that's why people were saying finger? I don't know. Is he hot? Yeah, no, he was not hot. He looked like he was warm, and he had no sleeves on his shirt, but he was not hot. Yeah, no. For me, Vicky, hot and full sleeves on both arms do not really go in the same sentence in my book, but you know, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Just not my version of hot. Okay, you guys. So a couple quick things. Giveaways. We have 2 giveaways this week. The way you participate in the giveaway is once the video is over, hop over to the comments, leave a comment, and tell me either one of your turning points or tell me what you do when you can't go to sleep. And we will, or when you can't sleep or you wake up in the middle of the night when you can't sleep. And then next Saturday, I will draw 2 random winners, one for the In the News stamp set and one for the new Bullets and More stamp set. Okay, friends, we will be together next weekend. Next weekend is what? Oh, I know, because look I already have 2 of our lists planned for next weekend. Next weekend, I don't have the date down yet. Next Saturday. The Saturday out 30 days, half September, April, June, and November. So there's 31 in March. So today's the 26th, 27 Sunday, 28 Monday, 29 Tuesday, 30 Wednesday, 31 2nd, right? Is that right? Is that right? April 2nd? April 2nd, I think. April 2nd. Thank you, Diane. April 2nd. April 2nd. That just reminded me, that was one of the things on one of my past lists. Things that you were glad that you learned in your life. That was one of the things on my list. I was always very glad I learned 30 months, half September. That's how you know that how many days each month has. That little thing that you remember. Yes, so we will be together on April 2nd, regular standard time, regular time, 9 a.m. Pacific. And we will do, well, guess what? I'll even tell you what the lists are now, you guys. One of our lists will be things I do when I can't sleep. So I just need to move that over to my last one. Things can't sleep. Another list is about last month, because it will be our first Saturday of a new month. We'll do about last month. And then our third list, favorite cliches. And someone suggested that last week after I was like butchering every cliche. Like I'd say something and I'd be like, no, that's not right. What? And then we just had a lot of laughs. And then at one point Nick came in and he's like, what is wrong with you? So, yes, those will be our 3 lists for next week. Stare at a wall, I know, right? Lots of things. Oh my gosh, your dad will be 85. Goodness. Terry's going to be putting her toes in the sand and Playa del Carmen. I love Playa del Carmen. Beautiful Caribbean water. Anyhow. Blue, super blue water. But on the Playa del Carmen side, totally flat water. Whereas if you're on the Cancun side, it is like crazy waves. Still pretty, but crazy waves. So have fun. All right, friends, until next week, we'll be together next Saturday. I'll see some of you guys on Monday night for the April setup of our Traveler's Notebooks. And as always, stay healthy, stay safe, have an amazing rest of your weekend. And if it's nice where you are, go out and enjoy this gorgeous weather, because we were having gorgeous weather. Okay, friends. Nick's going to be so proud of me. I'm 6 minutes early. I'm never early. That's probably, if you ask Nick, one of the biggest problems in our relationship, he'd say that I'm not on time. Even if it's sometimes 5 minutes late, but that's some contention between us. So I'm going to go tell him he needs to add 5 minutes to my time bank. Ooh, you know what? We don't have a time bank, but I should create the time bank so I can track it. And then I'll say, ooh, I was 20 minutes late, but not really, because the time bank I had 30. So I'm actually ahead 10 minutes. I'm 10 minutes early. Yeah. All right, friends. Have a good week. We'll see you next Saturday.